partiami bezpośrednio.
So we get live games. There will not be this half an hour delay. That there is 15 minutes and.
Hello, welcome from Riga. Riga Technical University Open is about to start, and here in the studio with you is gonna be a women international master Anna Kantane.
Hi guys, and Grandmaster Toms Kantans. Yeah, we are really happy to be here. It's already ninth edition of the festival. We were also here last year as commentators before we were playing. So yeah, we are. It's one of our favorite tournaments, and now we are happy to be speaking about it for a whole week.
Yeah, just certainly one of the best tournaments. The event to attend every year it's growing bigger and bigger with more side events, with more main events, you could even say, and the main tournament day group, which we are going to be commenting, as always, is super strong. A lot of grandmasters, over 2600 rated, a lot of young, talented players who are looking to score some norms and to.
Or already grandmasters who can't make any more norms because just one of the biggest talents that is here in Riga this year is Gukesh from India, who is the youngest grandmaster in the world, only 12 years old. I actually played with him in the Blitz. Yesterday was Rapid, 2 days ago we had Blitz, so we could warm up. We were commentating, players were playing, and I played with him as well. So there are huge stars here in Riga. As Tom said, there are many players over 2600 and around 30 grandmasters, at least before the round. Now you can see players are sitting, slowly preparing for the game. There was a slight delay, how it usually is before the first round, but yeah.
Yeah, but they will be ready to start very soon.
Exactly.
So the top seed is Igor Kovalenko from Latvia. He has participated already quite a few times. This is his 5th time playing in Riga RTU Open, and most of the times he was in top 3 in the rating, but he never managed to win the tournament. He actually didn't manage to finish in top 3, so.
He's probably just getting more and more frustrated. Yeah. And let's see if it's going to help him finally win the tournament. Just during the opening ceremony, there was also drawing of colors, and Igor drew white color. So he's playing with white, which is probably pretty good.
Well, it's always good to have white because it most likely means that you're going to play 5 whites in the tournament. Of course, it can change, but in most of the cases, especially for the first number, it means 5 whites.
Yeah, and now he will be playing with Victoria Cherniak. Definitely we will be following this game. But second seed in the tournament is Robert Hovhannisyan from Armenia, who is last year's winner. So definitely he has good memory from this tournament. In general, Armenians feel pretty comfortable in Latvia because last year 2 first places were players from Armenia. So yeah, he will try to repeat his win, definitely.
And also I think important factor is that, at least judging from the results, he is in a great shape right now because his rating is at the moment 2650, which is his peak rating, despite the fact that he already crossed 2600 almost, I think 8 years ago he crossed it first time, but now he's at his peak rating, so he is actually doing very good, and will be looking to score another great result in Riga because
to beat his peak rating even more.
Because he participated here, this is his 3rd time, and then the first attempt he shared first place and stayed second on tie breaks, and then the second attempt he won, so definitely a place he likes to visit.
Oh wow, I didn't remember that. Yeah, and the 3rd seed, Nijat Abbasov, I think he's also around his peak rating.
Yeah, this is also his peak rating, and he is also doing very good, having a good year. If I'm not mistaken, he scored the bronze medal in the World Team Championship playing for Azerbaijan, on his board. So, and that was this year. So also a good year for him, and he's a very dangerous player.
All of those guys are really dangerous, and going to the 4th seed, we have Arjan Tari, who once again having a good year. He won Norwegian Championship. rating 2634, one of those young, huge talents. So yeah, there's nothing easy here.
And also, interestingly, also our Tari is on his peak ratings, so also in a great shape, and just he was around this 2600 level for a long time already. Well, rather long time, and now he's making some sort of a jump up. So yeah, everybody seems to be in good shape, and here in Riga.
All right, then we see already players are sitting. I guess will they start the games already?
Well, the pairings were made already a few minutes ago, and I assume that they are gonna start soon. We saw that there was some sort of uploading. Yeah, there's some sort of speech, I guess, about the start of the tournament, and
All right.
it should
Also,
start any
first
moment.
move on the first board will most likely be officially made. So maybe that was the.
Oh,
what was
right.
about.
Yeah.
All right, and then the fifth seat is Christian Bauer from representing France. Sixth seat Rasmus Fane, who yesterday did something absolutely mind-blowing. I was shocked when I saw it that he scored 9 out of 9 in the rapid tournament. It's something unheard of. I mean, there were many grandmasters playing, and just incredible.
Yeah, he's
result.
having very good time in Riga. I mean, if you remember, just recently he played in Tal Memorial in a rapid tournament. He also got third place and increased his rating nearly 100 points, and now again 9 out of 9. And yeah.
Yes, and also last year he played well in RTU Open, so he's back here as well. And this is one of the, as even Agon Slavendelis, the tournament director, he said that this is the biggest testament to the tournament that players keep coming back. So that's makes definitely organizers really happy, because that means they're having a good time. And we see that players started the games. That's game on board number 4, where we have Maxim Evchin from Ukraine playing against already mentioned Aryan Tari. Those are just first moves.
Yeah, so today the rating difference is still rather big, so more than 400 points between players, but it's not as big as in most of the opens where there can't be any surprises. And every year we see, even in the first round, some upsets and a lot of draws, because 2200 level player, that's already a serious serious players. And then comes in the factor also the first round. There's such a, not sure what it is, but some sort of psychology involved, that the players are still not so warmed up, they are not in the right mindset. Often they have just arrived, especially like if the game starts like here in the afternoon, then a lot of people choose to travel on the day of the first round and maybe not feeling so fresh, and then a lot of interesting stuff is happening.
Yeah, actually, I have been speaking with guys from England who just finished their British Championship, and they came here and they they just arrived at 1 p.m. Latvian time, so it's basically they could only land and come to the hotel, probably leave their luggage, eat something quickly, and come to the game. So, and especially that they just played the tournament before, they're probably going to be tired. But yeah,
maybe they're warmed up. Exactly the opposite, and that they can use this factor that they are feeling this rhythm of playing already, and the rest of the players, they still kind of need to get into it.
Yeah. Well, in general, let us know in the comments who your favorites are, who are you cheering for, or at least where are you from, and then probably you're cheering for your players from your countries. And we can already take a look at board number 1, probably.
Yeah. And just to say that if there are some specific games that you would like to take us look at, then please let us know, and we'll do our best to look at them. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, they have to be live boards. this time. But yeah, so let's see Igor Kovalenko, Victoria Chernyak. Okay, for now, they're slowly starting the games. Victoria also played here last year. She comes a lot to Riga. For now, it's just first 3 moves, and we have.
She did play c6, but I don't see what was the move which Igor answered. Which line he chose here.
Okay, we'll have it updated in a moment, I guess. But now g3 was played. So maybe just knight c3 and g3 was played, and
I think his knight is on d2, but maybe he's on c3, not sure. But it's something like this then on the board. And yeah, just game is starting. Igor is gonna be playing very calm, not for any direct threats or any direct anything. I think in the beginning of the game, and his strategy in most of the first round games is actually playing super fast time-wise, especially when he's playing against some younger people who might be intimidated by his rating and his this.
And by the fact that he is playing fast and confident, and they will spend a lot of time, thinking that he has something prepared, and in fact he's just playing. But this is just a slow beginning for now. All right. Also, I wanted, since the games are still, as we said, just warming up, I wanted to tell you that every day we'll be choosing the game of the day, most likely. And so everything's going to be happening on our Facebook page of the tournament. So it's Riga Technical University Chess Open. You can go there, follow it, and then we will choose 2 or 3 games, whichever were the best, and then you guys will choose the actual game that is going to win the game of the round of the day. Once again, sorry.
Okay, so any matchups that are particularly interesting for you for today?
Well, definitely Victoria, although she definitely has a hard first game. I'm always cheering for girls. On the board number 2, we also have a women player. Actually, you played her in the Rapid yesterday, Ragavi, and women international master from India. Yes, we have a lot of players from India here this year. It's second country which is the most
represented.
Yes. Even more than all countries around. So Latvia is first, but then India, and then that. What other games? Let me see. So board number 3, we have Abbasov Veda, then Evchin Tari, which we already mentioned, Bauer Piasecki. On board number 5, Mohita against Svane, Smirin Ilya, which is also one of the biggest stars here, very, very experienced grandmaster from Israel, playing with now Bakar Arna from Germany. And then we have a Pole on board number 8. I am from Poland, so definitely we'll take a look at that game. Tymarkiewicz against Gopal. Gopal is the highest rated player here from India. But other than that, let's see. Who are, except Igor Kovalenko, I guess the highest rated Latvian player is
Nikita Meshkovs.
Nikita Meshkovs. He's on board number 17.
And he's playing against Estonian player Kuksander, who is actually a big specialist in fast chess. And might be mistaken, but I think that he just returned from the Finnish Blitz Championship, where he in the last 2 days played more than 40 Blitz games, and now he's playing the first round here.
All right. Also, there were some our friends, also grandmaster from Latvia, Artur Nekšans was there, I think, playing.
Yeah.
And it was some interesting tournament. But all right, coming back here. Also on board number 13, we have Kaido Kulauts, who is a friend from Estonia. He's playing against Latvian player, but yeah, he's winner of the Aeroflot tournaments, which he had very impressively won.
Yeah, this year, and then he got a chance to play in the Dortmund this super tournament, and actually scored quite good there, losing first 2 rounds, but with black pieces, but then making draws in the remaining games against all those very strong grandmasters.
Yeah, so we have a lot of interesting players here. Just to still mention, we mentioned top players, but also we have to say about top ladies in the tournament.
So top seed between women is Bulmaga Irina. Second seed is Mamadzada Gunay, and third is Tanya Sacho. So all rated over 2400, so very strong players.
Yes, all IMs also during the like Irina is number 31 in the world. She is actually also on her peak rating now, which is interesting. She was sharing it on Facebook. So so she's definitely also hoping to get some GM norm maybe, because this is a perfect tournament for norms with around 40 different nationalities, so many titled players, 170. So you can easily get what you need for the norm. You only need to play well. Only. All right, so let's see. Are the games a little bit more advanced already? Did something happen? Let's see, board number 2.
Let's see, board number 2, yeah, between Rakhavi and against Johannes and Robert. And we saw some sort of Roy Lopez line. Still, I guess it's very theoretical phase, but Rakhavi chose a line with a4 after some
So yeah, let's see the board
thinking.
now.
And it does seem like Robert is not by the board actually at the moment, so he saw that his opponent is starting to think, so he just took the opportunity to go walk around, which is very common thing in the classical chess, especially in the beginning of the game, when there's a quite high possibility that opponent can fall asleep for a rather long time. Okay, so I'm not very familiar with the setups with d3, but obviously this is still a very theoretical line, but maybe you can say something more about it, Anna.
Yeah, we both actually go for the main lines, meaning c3, d4 in the Spanish, so that is what we do here. But yeah, I guess d3 is more and more getting popular because people try to escape a little bit from still to the main lines, but not so main. And just to kind of play for understanding. I guess now before was played. So I guess now white will be trying to play for like a5, knight d2, knight c4.
Yeah, a5 now after b4 from the white. The idea is simply not to let black's knight go to a5, because once it goes to a5, there can be some problems with the bishop on b3. We don't want to give it up, and if we go back bishop a2, then there comes in the possibilities of thematical pushes like b3 and closing up the bishop, even with the price of sacrificing a pawn.
Yeah, but probably this is going to be still really open game. Spanish is the biggest, basically, opening. By the way, just I see that Karsten, you are here and that you can hear as well. That's good. Tell us if there are any kind of problems. If you can't hear, then we'll fix it really fast. Also, hi to Annette and Eric and Pulakesh. Pulakesh, you can see who the commentators are in the also description, but as we said at the beginning, Grandmaster Toms Kantans and I am Anna Kantane. So, and hi again.
Okay, so we saw that knight d2 was also played in this game.
So now knight is going to c4, but no. Okay, knight a5, still pawn on e5 is hanging. So black will probably go d6, unless he will try to be tricky and he'll go like h6, rook e8, and will try to get d5 without d6 to kind of win the time on that.
That's possible, but I don't think it's a very advisable plan in the scenario where we don't control c4 square anymore, and the knight c4 can land with a big power and attacking the e5 pawn. So it might be quite risky to play with the d5.
Alright, so now d6 is, I think, the most natural move here for black, and still we are keeping our options open. Knight a5 is there, bishop g4 might come. I guess actually Robert has already played something. But for now we can't see. Okay, so let's go to board number 3. Let's see quickly all the top boards.
Yeah, so there is some more action happening in this one.
Let's see from the beginning. So we had English opening.
Symmetrical stuff, kind of. And here black chose not to allow d4, push for white, so played e5. e3 to kind of try to push anyways. For the d4, knight f6. And after d4, black had a choice to choose a position which is maybe strategically a little bit harder to play from black, but more simplified by taking and playing d5, which is totally playable line, very solid approach. But yeah, he went for e4, which is aiming for much more sharp continuations. For example, if white has an option also to play here like something like knight e5, and then black is even playing some moves like h5 with the ideas that the knight could go to g4 after exchanges, and it starts to be a very exciting and sharp game. But Nijat is not that type of player. He's very much enjoying to grind positionally, just slowly pushing, and so it's understandable that he chose to take on c6, and will simply try to play some position with a little bit better structure. But if I remember correctly, then from the theoretical point of view, this line is not really, it's not very dangerous for black. But of course you have to be careful always, and in every position with that many pieces on the board, there are chances to go wrong, and the stronger side can simply outplay the weaker one.
How do you think? Is he happy with what's going on?
Well, he wasn't ready for this, obviously. If we look at the time management, I mean, if you speak about black player, yeah, that he has already started to think, and
yeah,
he's not sure what he should do.
What to do, and this is exactly not what you wanna get when you're playing with Abasov. Although I don't know what you wanna get, but especially when you see that your opponent's playing quickly, and this is such a sharp line. Maybe he just didn't think about after e4 that d5 is an option. Maybe he has only considered knight moving somewhere away. Hard to say.
It would be quite strange. Maybe he was simply not ready for the line with e3, d4, like at all, and he just thought to go for e4, and overall he had seen it somehow somewhere, but he was, yeah. Or right now there's of course another possibility that he's aware of this line, but he's just choosing which position to go for. So the options that he has right now with black is either to take the c6 pawn, for example, even like this. Then probably white is not gonna choose to exchange on d8 because this is resulting endgame.
Why would it be better? I mean, you can still go for it, but I would go queen f3, bishop d2, and castle long. Can we do that?
Yeah, we could do that, but also this endgame is slightly better for white because of the pawn structure, that these pawns, these doubled pawns are stronger than these doubled pawns. But yes, queen f3 is...
we can also try queen f3. Just let's make it more interesting. Although those strong players as we mentioned when it was about the Igor Kovalenko game, they sometimes want to just make it boring and just outplay
Although,
brutally.
actually, I think that in this position that's not very advisable to play queen f3 because bishop g4, forcing queen,
g3, bishop
d6.
All right.
And we are getting a lot of tempi from the black side, and okay, we will have this little bit worse pawn structure,
Okay, queen
but
h4. Your bishop on g4 is kind of shaky. I still want to go bishop d2 and castle, and then win your queen on d8.
you're not afraid to castle long?
No. Bishop d2. Let's see. Let's just have some fun.
Okay, bishop e5, for example.
We can't castle. Okay, we have to play f3 first. f3. Bishop goes and then castle. All right. And now we are also already prepared for some g4 stuff. Are we too slow? Maybe bishop f5 was better. No, but you could lose some bishop there. All right, probably black is here a little bit faster. After king b1, which is to defend a2 pawn, b5 is coming, and yeah, those bishops are actually too dangerous.
Can get very dangerous, yeah. So this is kind of one option, and I think that what could occur here is, especially knowing style for Abaso, that he would try to grind this endgame. Or another option that black can choose here is to take on g2, to which white is answering with taking on d7, and there's another endgame can occur, where it's simply for a little piece activity and maybe trying to use the fact that white still has a central pawn and to push a little bit forward and kind of try to claim advantage in that way.
All right, but let's see what the black player decides here later on. And since we have on the chat some questions about some games, then let's check them out. And hi, Birger. We will see now Smirin Bracker if we can. And yeah, that's the game on board number 7. Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Just a second, I'll turn on the pairings again, where they are.
So yeah, Smirin Ilya, Bracker Arne. Yeah, that was the game.
Yeah, board number 7.
So some sort of Italian game, and
Oh, this is what I like, with buff colors.
we see it from the beginning. Yeah, so h3, d6, and with a quick regrouping of the knight from c6 to g6.
After c3, the knight is not really needed on c6 because above b4, which is not needed, but mainly d4 are covered, so knight is jumping to g6 to create some trouble for a white king, hopefully jumping to f4. Maybe even some sacrifices on h3 are possible. But of course, it's not winning. It's just the idea.
Now this is this positional approach that white is choosing, and just to kind of slowly outplay and for the understanding and even just how to make those, yeah, like about those move bishop e6. I liked very much the N9s that was, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned about by Svidler, that he never knows in which cases it's good that it's taking on e6 and which cases it's not, and that he usually chooses the wrong moment when to evaluate it, and it's
Not a good intuition here.
Yeah, so it's very complicated, and that's what players like Smirin are playing for, especially against weaker opponents, and it's like the perfect opening for the round 1.
Yeah, sure, he doesn't have to be afraid of some long theoretical lines, or he can play for understanding, but also, I don't know, I personally have pretty good results here with black as well, with stronger opponents who theoretically should be much more experienced than myself, so let's just see how it goes. Yeah, here for now the position looks pretty calm, as usually in Italian at the beginning, but it could get really interesting as well. I don't really know for black player, is he more going to go in the positional, or he will try to mix something up and go for some maybe attack or something like this. That could be interesting
it's hard
to
to
see.
say, of course. I did play with him in the Rapid tournament yesterday, but other than that, yeah, I'm not familiar with his
Style of
play
play.
and his style of play exactly. Yeah.
All right, you can guys also tell us now what do you think about the game. Although probably you should tell which game you are telling about because as we said we have 15 minutes delay to make it more difficult for the players who want to cheat, not to make it too easy for them. All right, so let's go back to top games. Maybe let's see Aryan Tari. How is he doing? There is also a lot of takings already in the center.
Okay, yeah, so double fianchetto was chosen by white player here. If you look from the beginning, he started with d4, d5, just kind of casual stuff. Then he put his bishop on g2 and didn't want to take the pawn on d4. I guess that's also understandable because once you take it with a knight, then it kind of allows the lines maybe with d5, so you don't really want, you might not want that. It's kind of like reversed Greenfeld's looking position. I mean, with knight c3, bishop g5,
Yes.
and but you can also not want to have that straight away. And if you take with the queen, then obviously that just helps black to develop.
So you don't take a pawn.
So you don't take the pawn, and h6, very interesting
So
approach.
okay, so is his idea okay? He went b3, bishop g4, and he'll probably want to go bishop b2. But how will he take this pawn back? What is his plan now?
Yeah, so h6 is probably aimed in case the knight d4 would occur, then in the lines when it would be like reverse Greenfeld, there would no longer be bishop g5. So it's understandable prophylactic move, as he assumed that in one way or another white will need to take this pawn, right? So, but yeah, white is playing b3, and now bishop g4, and we see that both players are spending time already. So obviously this can't be in their books anymore.
Doesn't look. But what I am thinking about, what white is waiting for? Because at some point you have to take this pawn. So is he waiting for knight c6 to then take with the knight to have knight c6
Yeah, I think
taking?
so, actually.
Yeah.
That was he was waiting for,
So
something like knight c6, and then he would take, and in the lines of e5.
You have possibility of just not retreating the knight, but taking on c6. That's
and then
his
playing
plan.
pretty much just classical, also Greenfeld position, just with extra tempi. So usually that's and the openings like a Greenfeld defense, which is like very solid from the black side, and it's hard to beat even for the
In a
engines
regular,
and the
yeah.
top guys and so on. So if you get there an extra tempi, it often means that you're doing just great, just really great.
All right. So what will black do?
So now, yeah,
No,
bishop
now
g4.
it's white to move, yeah?
So now his plan is simple. He wants to just take the bishop, for example. If white would still continue with the strategy of not taking, then already he wants to take and just play e5 and not
And then keeping the
view
pawn.
this pawn.
All right. Okay. This
But
is tricky.
actually-
This is such a game. Who will be more patient? Who will manage to trick the opponent on this move order kind of?
Actually, what happens here? Can we just say that that was a pawn sacrifice from the white side, and that now we have two bishops, and
And also
gonna
still
be
it's
enough?
good.
yeah.
After DE will
For
take.
DE, we are happily gonna take on e5, and the king is still not too developed.
Especially that
yeah.
probably we can easily take the D5 pawn
Oh,
as well.
although if we take here, we can't really take with the rook.
Bishop C5, okay, still bishop
bishop.
D4, but that's
But that
maybe
is
already
giving
too
a
slow.
lot of time for black, right?
Rook E2.
Yes, rook e2 there is, but it was kind of happy about this way of
All
playing.
right,
Yeah, this is a pawn.
It's getting tricky, but probably
Still, these are not developed as well.
after taking on E3, if we can go back there, you can, with white, maybe even just simply take it. And we still have those two bishops as well.
All right.
Okay, but it's not so obvious. Bishop C5 is still there, so I mean, definitely white is not winning, but
Yeah, I
mean-
mean, this is not looking too great. The strategy also what came to my mind is that if that's not what Black wants, he can simply choose to play knight c6, and after taking, just switch to e4 and enjoy quite a good structure also here in the center, and with a bad bishop on b2 for white.
Okay, I don't know, but you have some c4. Bishop pair is bishop pair. But I think that now in the position that we have on the board, that he will already take back the pawn somehow.
He didn't. He already played bishop b2.
All right, so bishop b2 on the board, and now we have the situation where black has a choice of taking on f3 and trying to keep this pawn, or will he... What else?
Yeah,
If
there
he
are
will
no
not try that, then
no
bishop
other
g4.
developing moves really.
Yeah, because knight c6 and knight d4, that's what at least we think was White's idea here.
Of course, it's still totally possible and normal because bishop on g4 is not misplaced. It's good looking there at the e2 pawn, kind of tying it down, looking at the queen. So it's not a bad square for bishop, even if he chooses to go knight c6. But
Let's see.
I think, yeah, he needs to evaluate these lines where white is sacrificing a pawn, and probably he's gonna go for just this material advantage. That's my guess.
We see Abbasov walking around for now.
Yeah, his
In the game,
opponent is
actually.
still thinking in the same moment that we left the game and just still not
Alright.
deciding where to take and how to take. So he's, I guess, totally out of book, totally shocked by this development today.
Its first round is sometimes so difficult because you are not warmed up. I think this player, at least I don't remember him participating in the Rapid or Blitz. Maybe he also just arrived today, and it's hard. The first
And you
round.
also find out the pairings only a few minutes before the
Yeah.
round, so you're not prepared. Like for the rest of the games, you calmly check at home what to do, what your opponent is playing, and okay, not always you can guess it perfectly, but at least
You can
few
try.
moves or some guidelines, general ideas. Yeah, you can always check.
Okay, how many actually live boards do we have?
Oh, that's a good question, but quite a lot of them.
Can we see game of Gukesh? Do we have it?
Yes,
Since we
certainly.
have such a star here, the youngest grandmaster currently in the world, second youngest grandmaster ever. So let's see. Okay, so we have Sveshnikov.
He's playing against Latvian player Kristaps Kruskals. Yeah, player who is not playing very much, but he can play some games very good. He's very often that in actually in RTU Open he's every year playing the first round on the top boards, and he's giving a very tough time for those higher rated players. And
Let's see. Will he give some hard time to the talented Indian player?
yeah, so-
Okay, so I played also with Gukesh, as I mentioned already, but we had Sicilian. What line was it? It was some kind of Taimanov, I guess. And here he went for the Sveshnikov, and there was taking on f6 with the bishop, and gf still, forcing black to take with the g pawn. And now there is such this quite typical structure. I think this is just main line.
and Queen H5 as well.
I don't remember. I played here something else. I don't know if Queen H5 is the main line here.
Oh, Queen
I can
H5.
check actually.
The idea
Although-
is probably simple, so that to control the f5 square in case of the lines of taking. Okay, first of all, there's a pin, and second of all, black can't castle because, well, obviously, there is also attack on the h7 pawn by bishop and the queen. So probably it's quite a normal move, as it seems so logical.
I mean, this Queen H5 is definitely, but okay, we are not using engine here, but I can use database and see. Okay, no, castle was the main move here. Queen H5 is a second option, but still quite playable. So probably here players in general are that they could know this position, right? Although they are spending more time than
They should know, yeah.
because we see Gukesh already spent 15 minutes. I mean, but he probably knows, right?
Well, Kristaps is a very experienced player with a lot of years of playing different events, different kind of chess. So he knows his openings at least in
Alright.
some way, and
In some way.
like the ideas and what he's supposed to do. Just he needs to remember them. I think that's the biggest issue.
All right, but Queen H5, and now White kind of is getting ready for some tricks, yeah, on the king sides. But what is his?
So
he
his
wants
idea-
to castle long.
I think the whole idea is playing against h7 pawn. So
There could be some tricks, for example, if bishop g7, and then something, and black castles. Let's say we also castle, and black castles, then we can take on f5 with the pawn, give up the knight on d5, and go f6. Yeah?
yes, exactly.
That could be
yeah.
our
So
plan.
if the castle, that could be something that we consider because it to taking h7 with a mate. So the only way to defend
No, we have e4.
is
Yeah?
e4, but after e4, white has
Well, we take
A lot of
first on
threats.
g7 because the rook is hanging. Black has to.
let's
Do
say
something.
take, and then we take here, and this is obviously great news for white. Okay,
Yeah,
we
but
don't need to
with
take the
black,
pawn.
I
we
think it
can...
was better to go rook e8 instead of king g7.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So rook e8, and so that after queen takes d5, yeah, we can show it. There is a check.
And then it's tricky. So maybe instead
Well,
of
still we
taking
are taking a pawn, aren't we?
knight e5, knight e5. It's interesting. f4 then knight g6, and still f4 pawn is hanging. So it's not clear. But okay, instead
not
of
clear, yeah,
taking
but
on
it's interesting,
d5,
sure.
we could also go bishop e2. So it's something interesting is happening.
Okay, so probably what black should do here? Maybe some lines with knight e7, just.
No, wait. Actually, I put wrong position. There was already c3 played. So c3, bishop g7. All right. And now queen h5. Mhm. Still, it's in the database.
What also is very common in this kind of openings, and like that, you see that line is theoretical, and it's doing very good from the black side. But often, what you can miss is the fact that there is some sort of forced. If you play the strongest moves with black, there is a forced continuation that gives a draw, and based on that kind of continuation, this whole line is considered, for example, to be fine for black. But when you're playing in the first round against an opponent who you just want to win, then you can end up in a situation when you have to improvise because you don't want to allow him to just get this forced draw.
That's true, and that's also the trick you can do with white. Even if you don't really want to make a draw, but you can kind of scare opponent who is, let's say, much stronger, so you know they want to win you, and yeah, go for some lines that you know that there is a draw there, and yeah, and he'll try to escape, and then he can, well, most likely with black, you have to go sometimes for a draw, or you go for simply worse position, and that's how you can kind of trick your opponent. So this is something you can do. And yeah, well, but this could be interesting game. I am very curious how will he play here.
Yeah, especially that he's thinking so much. Already 20 minutes he has spent. That's a serious amount of time, and just to tell about the time control, I think we didn't mention it. It's 90 minutes plus 30 seconds per move, and nothing more. So no additional time after move 40. That's actually one of the things that I very much liked about this tournament. It always promises an exciting ending of the games. Okay, of course, players often are
they
maybe
are
a little
upset
frustrated because they can't play the best chess, but of course the time management is just an important skill to learn, and yeah,
For
You
us,
can-
it's more interesting when they're commentating because it's not like after move 40 again they will think now for half an hour. But yeah, it's getting really exciting much sooner. And okay, I see that we have request for Rasmus Fane. Well, definitely we should check him out. It's board number 6, right? As we mentioned, I mean, yesterday he scored 9 out of 9. It's amazing. Performance of 3,067. Beat everyone. Insane.
So today he's playing his usual opening, so Karakan defense. Yeah, as far as I saw him playing against E4, every single game was Karakan. So it's also here on the board. And so if you look at it from the beginning,
So line with E5.
F5, and so
And now
rather
C3,
popular
yeah.
setup. But now, yeah, white chose C3, so it's kind of not going for the maybe more popular plans of putting knight on B3 against the stopping
In general,
C5.
also after bishop F5, I guess main line is H4, yeah? Or is it not? At least, no, it's second main line. No, knight F3 is the main line. But recently, everyone I saw, they were playing H4, so E6, bishop E2, and yeah, here.
Yeah, because the problematic thing from the white side is the line with C5, and that's what everyone is trying to avoid. And yeah, that's why maybe choosing H4 is becoming more trendy, as there are a lot very theoretical lines, and yeah, they are very unclear. Like here, C5 if we are playing, and white has to play with bishop e3, there is knight queen b6, and then there is all those crazy lines with knight c6, and then there is just even where black is sacrificing this rook on a8, but the knight gets stuck there, and the king
Yeah,
is just
like
going
when
to
you look
catch
at
it.
this position, you don't really see that rook on a8 is going to fall. But sometimes, like white queen will go to b1, and after black takes on b2, white queen goes to b1. Yeah, and then to b7. That's how you sacrifice the rook on a8.
No, that would be
No, knight b5, knight c7.
knight
Yeah?
b5, knight c7. Yeah, with the queen taking on b2, the knight b5 follows, and yeah, the knight c7 comes.
All right, that's yeah. There are so many crazy lines in this Karakan with with e5.
Yes, but this line is quite problematic from white. So there is, I mean, there's forced draw, what you can achieve, but it's very hard to fight for advantage.
It's a big yawn for Rasmus Vane. Maybe he was celebrating his great score tonight, and he's tired.
Or maybe he's simply also not even celebrating. Just to remind that yesterday the tournament started at 11 a.m. and the closing ceremony was around 10 p.m. So it was a long working day.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we see he is kind of lost in thoughts. Okay, he can afford it. His opponent is thinking he probably just still in the book. Knight a3 now and c5.
They should both be in the book, right? But yet somehow the time
I don't know.
is running.
Knight a3. I don't know. In the database, it's not one of the, at least in my database, it's not one of the first options, but maybe things changed. But
So
yeah.
it's some sort of prepared idea, or maybe it's just
Knight a3 and
improvisation
now
by the
c5. I
board.
mean, okay, when you are playing c5, you don't worry about knight jumping to d6, yeah, because knight a3
Yeah.
kind
This
of
is
is
coming,
looking
yeah.
at b5. So c5, knight b5 is something you should consider with black. I mean, mate in one is a threat. So you can't, let's say, go a6.
But after knight c6, yeah, we no longer want to play knight d6 because
Because bishop will just take it.
it
And
gets
we'll
developed
probably lose
quickly.
this pawn sooner or later. Right?
Yeah, one way or another, for example. Black don't need to attack it instantly, but they can even just prepare maneuvers like that and take it.
Okay, yeah, well, of course, we have to be careful not to lose on c5, but usually this should be totally good for black. It's kind of risky, but who knows, maybe this is what white is now counting. If he can afford it, to go there and try to play for some activity with the bishop, or what else is he
Yeah,
thinking
if
about?
not, then actually the knight might very quickly start to be misplaced on a3.
Or he is counting to take on c5. And, well, knight a3 can join the game and go to c2 and d4. And that's, yeah, well, improvement.
Maybe even through b5 it can also go.
Yeah, as well.
And knight c6 and then...
Okay, knight c6 is attacking on e5. This is always this problem for white in this opening. I had recently in my last tournament in the Greek league game actually with the first seat among women here with Irina Bulmaga. We were playing also this Karagan with e5, and I didn't manage to understand what to do with those pawns on c5 and e5, because now you can't even actually manage to defend it. Bishop f4 if you want to keep the e5 pawn, and queen c7. Oh no, queen c7 is not possible. Yeah, because now finally this knight on a3 is jumping to b5, and that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, but still, bishop f4 is maybe not the move that we want, so knight c6 would be quite a good inclusion, and we could choose to develop further.
Like how?
Say with the bishop.
I just take it. Okay, but if then we just go knight b5.
Well, then that's, I guess, pretty much the usual game, right?
Yeah, but I like black here.
Yeah, me too. Bishop comes to e4, and we are all the time struggling to defend this pawn on e5.
I don't play Caro-Kann with black, but always when I play it with white, I like black. So maybe I should just start to play with black.
Yeah, that's quite a good indication that that might be the opening to play.
Alright, but we see white is still lost in thoughts. He's just trying to calculate. Okay, what do you think? What is he thinking about? What's your guess?
Well, I guess he's just thinking what to do. Because, yeah, this knight a3 seems to be kind of improvised move, and now he needs to understand where to put his pieces. And if, I guess, to take on c5 or to not react, and maybe to regroup the quickly knight to somewhere to c2 and e3 further, as, yeah, on a3 we just can't leave it. I mean, black will play knight c6, take on d4, other bishop is gonna come out, and the knight won't be able even to comfortably join through c2, as there can be some tactics. Or the bishop takes c2, rook to coming to c8, and etc. So can get very dangerous.
Okay, he has knight castle. That wasn't what we were thinking about. Okay, he's just, I guess, waiting. Maybe he simply wants to keep this c3 center, because actually if you want to take on c5 after c5, then you wouldn't need c3, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't. Usually,
so he probably just wants to keep the center.
Just the question is what to do with the knight on a3, that it wouldn't become a big liability.
Okay, but maybe he just will go knight c2, knight e3, and he'll attack the bishop on f5 as well.
That was what I mentioned. But the problem is that you have to do it fast, otherwise there will start to be some issues already connected with the... Actually, what happens if I take now? I assume you have to take with the pawn.
Yes.
And if I just play rook c8?
You're kind of...
I don't want to allow knight c2 anymore.
But now I can go knight b5, knight c3 if you already take it. Although not
that was a lot of moves to get the knight to c3.
is not doing much on c3, to be honest.
And a6, b5 is starting to come, and I think black.
No, but actually I don't like this knight there. So after rook c8, I will try to maybe I will go bishop g5. Can I go that? Do that?
Yeah, to pin the knight.
And now if you go h6, I'm going to go knight b5.
And yeah,
that's tricky actually.
That's a big mating threat already.
What can you do?
Yeah, that's probably just...
And now knight is pinned on e7. That's tricky.
Yeah, but that's why we are not going to go.
Okay, of course it's not going to happen. But
and now you can play a6.
Anyway.
You can play a6, and the question is what to do with that.
Okay, but we'll go rook c1, and we'll we'll just, okay, we want to go knight c2 when we can.
Okay, I guess, yeah, you're very fast with that. So when after h6, you're just taking, I assume.
If we take, then we can't really go knight c2 anymore. I thought we'll just retreat with the bishop, maybe even to d2. Knight c6, bishop c3, but then again b5. Well, once again, black is doing completely fine.
What came to my mind that here, white should play for the fact that black is undeveloped, right? Still in castle, so some ideas with taking could be...
Yeah, but if you take on e7, then you're helping
then you're already
development. If you go away, still.
If we go away, yeah, then...
Because this...
We are not in time to set up anything with rook c1.
It's what I usually tell to my students, that here, okay, even though black, for the moment, is undeveloped, it doesn't really matter because white's pieces are in the game, but they aren't really doing anything. There is nothing that those white can attack because black has no weaknesses. So, yeah, as soon as black will just get those two moves and the position is not very, very forced, you'll be fine. That's the problem.
Yeah, and what's confusing me with this plan of knight a3 is that once there is a structure after CD, you usually want to have your bishop on e3 just to support the d4 pawn, and there's no other better square for this bishop from c1, and like also it's supporting the rook c1, and all the idea is connected with that. But if you want to put bishop on e3, then even managing to play knight c2, it still doesn't help you because it doesn't have anywhere further to go to.
Okay, it's maybe simply it will be all good for Rasmus Fana. I mean, still the rating difference is pretty big between those players in the first round, so maybe he's just going to be comfortable. Although he looks really tired, which is that's one factor that can play some role here. That it's latish, so it could get tricky later on. But I think okay, in this game it won't matter at all. So actually, is there some game you wanna see, or shall we go to the top boards or?
Yeah, we could take a look at the top boards. I mean, we left it just when the opening was starting. So let's see board number 1, between Igor Kovalenko and Victoria Chernyak. It has developed. Igor is playing slower than I would expect him to play, but then again much faster than his opponent. And he has went for e4, quite a thematical break. So this was kind of the structure more or less that we saw. So black is developing, and then queen c2. So the idea is to control this e4 square, rook e8, with a plan to play e5 by black somewhere, and white is preparing e4. Both sides are preparing their own ideas and waiting, I guess, for opponent to progress, and then still queen c7, another move to prepare e5. Feels like it's over preparing it a little bit.
And maybe she could have just played it. Let's see. Although, okay, queen c7 is already played. Now let's see after e4. We see Victoria on the screen. She's trying to focus.
Can she play e5 now? I guess that's the main question. Because if she can't, then queen c7 didn't have really any point, and it's just going to be on a bad square later on.
Okay, but e5, what will you do with white? So the most critical line probably is d takes e5.
D takes, okay. It's really the most critical? I was afraid a little bit about taking on d5 and c5 moves.
Alright, I mean, I wanted to say, yeah, but we can't play f4, because if knight e5, bishop e5, we would kind of hope with white to set up f4, e5, but f4, then just bishop d4, check. And even knight g4 is coming, so you can have some problems here with white. And so you mentioned ed, cd, c5?
Or c5 instantly.
Straight away.
So you have to retreat, I assume.
Okay.
And now something.
But the c5 pawn
center
will be weak, it feels like, at least. I take cd. I simply want to take on d4 and on c5 now with black.
So if I take, so you take with a knight, I take. What is all these exchanges leading to?
I don't know, queen c7, bishop e3. Okay, Victoria took on e4, so we have it already played.
Yeah, here could be problems with isolated pawn. Maybe, especially if after b4 the pawn can be very well defended and...
Well, it's definitely something that you can feel not so confident about. So we have a lot of exchanges on e4 already played.
Yeah, but then, okay, so in case of exchanges on e4, I feel like queen c7 wasn't the best move because obviously there is no threats along this diagonal, so it's just limiting the bishop, and which will have to retreat at some point, and then it might be under bishop f4 some other tempi.
Oh, but so
Oh, he took with the rook. Okay, so Igor is threatening, I guess, to go rook h4. That's his plan, I assume. And yeah.
And just go bishop g5 and create some.
Okay, knight
kind
f6
of
is also
trouble.
on the board, so let's see if he's gonna play rook h4 or no. Maybe it was a little bit bluff, but it's interesting to see. I mean, it's a move that you want to make, but of course you also don't want to get stuck with this rook there.
So he's now trying to. He's looking at his opponent. Is she afraid of him? He's making funny faces now. She's also kind of just waiting. What will he do?
Well, she spent a lot of time thinking, and yeah.
Let's
now
see.
she just has to wait.
Let's see, Igor. What is he? What's his body language?
He used to go for this rook h4 idea, like rook going to h5, like there's to the center in every game that it was possible. I remember all the few times that he tried it, but of course every line, every different position, there are different nuances, and sometimes it's
I mean,
just
because
dangerous.
here you
sometimes
can
it's
just go
not.
g6 with black.
Instantly?
Well, to prepare for bishop g5. After bishop g5, you can't do it. So now,
Okay, and
if
after
you go
bishop g5,
g6,
you go.
don't know, maybe even king g7.
That looks. But
no,
then
king
you lose
g7,
a
then we
pawn.
lose on h7. No, we
So
can't
we
do
have
that.
to retreat,
Or, well, maybe, yeah.
but that's.
It looks quite good for white.
Yeah, I mean, all the pieces are working.
And we can't develop this bishop. What will
Can
he
of
do?
course play with b6.
Yeah, you wanna go knight e5, knight e5 taking? No, but then there comes taking. So
I would like to get my queen to h-file.
yes, to h6, that'd be cool.
Well, something like this maybe is possible. And now knight e5.
You're not afraid of c5 because bishop on b7 is hanging.
Yeah, and now I assume some tactics are already in there, like knight takes f7 or.
Knight takes f7, rook h7, queen g6. That's a big threat. And if ever black takes on e5, then the black squares are even more weak.
Yeah, they are extremely weak, and
now
this is
bishop
already
f6.
threatening rook h7. And so what's that?
But he is thinking about something.
Well, he's thinking if to go back just with the rook e1 and to try to outplay her slowly in a long game. No, rook h4 and then board.
Kind of with the face. Let's have fun.
I think he couldn't just resist himself.
Yeah, there are sometimes those positions that, yeah, exactly. You kind of feel that maybe the move you want to make is not objectively the best move, but yeah, you just can't not make it. I have it a lot.
And also there's the factor that there's attack for the king, and it might mean 5 moves and I can go home already if things go well. But in the other line, there's a guarantee that it's going to be a long, long game. So it's not, of course, the correct way to play chess, but it's just a human approach.
Yeah, we are human. All right.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting to see. I guess Victoria is now going to spend time thinking as she has
Yeah,
what
maybe
to think about.
she went for it. She felt like it should be fine, but well, it's always more difficult to face the attack and defend. All right, so let's see. Board number 2. We had this. Once again, we have Women International Master facing stronger player. And there was this development on the Spanish, so there was no a5. She didn't push the a pawn. She didn't feel like it's necessary.
And she went for, with the plan was c3, exchanging those pawns, and okay, so it's a lot of piece maneuvering.
As is going to be in this structure usually.
Knight g5 was played. Okay, so there was bishop on e6, that's why knight g5 was played, but the knight is probably going to have to retreat just back very soon.
Yeah, sometimes you can do it like, let's say when you want to go f4, but here you can't manage because if you move the king or bishop
or
e3.
in the cases that, for example, the piece, like you're repeating, instead, in case bishop would have went back to c8, then you go back knight f3, and it's like you didn't lose a move because black's bishop still has to be developed. The bishop on d7 is better than on c8, and it's already on a good square.
And that was the last move. Okay, now she went bishop e3. Well, bishop on a7 is quite strong. So she wants to exchange. If black takes on e3, then actually white can also take with the pawn. Maybe.
Yet that's a little bit dangerous, isn't it?
There you have no jumps of knight from f6 for now with black. Okay, d5 we can take knight e4.
Okay, I thought queen h5
knight
has to be played.
Knight e4, then f5.
Yeah,
maybe. No, f5, then there is knight e5. And knight on... a lot is hanging. f5, knight
F5,
e5,
okay,
and bishop
and
from a2 is attacking. Alright, so there are some tricks, even though the position, looks
but something
simple.
like queen h4, I don't know, I like black here very much. Especially, in this kind of... It feels like those knights here are wrong.
Yeah, but also there was this queen h5 instead of knight e4 that you mentioned.
Yeah, there was queen h5.
And we are threatening mate. After h7, we take on f7.
Oh, okay, so that's a good point. That I didn't see.
Okay, he took, and let's see, will she take with the pawn or with the knight? I mean, taking with the knight is quite also...
I think she will take with the knight.
More natural,
Yeah.
I think, in this position, because knight, you're opening the bishop, and you're looking at d5 and f5 with the knight. Kind of what you want, I guess, playing on the light squares.
Would get played, then knight would retreat, and...
But she's thinking, that's my girl. We always want to open some files to the king. All right. What do you think she'll do with the knight, yeah?
Well, it's hard to prognose. I would say that she's going to take with the knight. She wants to play it safe. I mean, the whole opening choice was trying not to go for...
Okay, then I'll say that she'll take with the pawn. Let's make it more interesting. We are looking at the chat, guys. You can let us know what do you think about the position we are discussing, and also what games you want to see, and all kinds of stuff. She's thinking. I mean, when you play such a move, sometimes you still don't know with what you want to capture back, but you're hoping that your opponent will spend some time also thinking, should I take on e3 or not? And then you can wake up your mind. But yeah, he very quickly took on e3.
Okay, so there is a lot of development on board 4, the game between Evchin and Tari.
So we'll come back to this one, and let's go to board number 4.
So he did not take the pawn, which is surprising for me. And he spent actually a lot of time.
We can see the position which we were last discussing after bishop g4 and bishop b2. We were thinking that, bishop f3 and e5 was the idea of bishop g4.
Yeah, that is going to happen. And but he also didn't go for the kind of in-depth plan of knight c6, like knight in the lines which white was waiting for, that he could take the pawn, especially now the e5 pawn is actually under attack, so knight c6 was not so good move. So he went knight d7. White
Preparing e5.
Finally, well, there was no choice already, he had to take.
Yeah.
e5, he included h3,
With the idea to have knight f5 jump.
And to have knight f5 jump. And he did it quite fast, actually. Like, very fast he played it out. And we see that Starry was been thinking a lot. He has only 15 minutes left. And now he played something. And knight f5 is not allowing this bishop to get developed. First of all, it's controlling the squares for the bishop. And second of all, it's looking on the g7 pawn. And we don't really want to play g6 as well, because we kind of get rid of this knight. But the problem is,
Bishop on h5 is not feeling comfortable there. Now d5 is hanging, and yeah, bishop on h5 is still a problem.
Yeah, so he chose an approach that you're certainly gonna like. He plays queen c7, and I assume with a plan to castle long.
That I like. Or he'll just for now
maybe
try
he
to
wants
wait.
play bishop g6 with attack to c2.
Yeah, because castle long with the bishop on g2 and possibilities of c4, with like, you know, knight a3 even and knight b5, rook c1, it looks maybe a little too much. Too brave. But let's see.
Can white now take the pawn? Or it's totally crazy? I mean, black had a chance to keep the pawn, he chose not to, but can white do the same?
But don't we have now knight d5 or bishop e2? No, bishop e2, then bishop f7.
Yeah, bishop e2, kind of trying to interject. Even queen takes e2 after knight d5, some sacrifice on e5 might be working. But yeah, but here is more simple.
Yeah, this is better. But we can still just go knight after bishop d5, knight d5.
Yes,
And
knight
then
d5,
taking.
queen d5, and what do we do next?
Bishop e2? Bishop e2, rook e1.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not to say.
that's exactly
That's
running
asking.
into the...
That's asking for a mate that you don't want to do. But actually, white already went c4, did he? Right?
Yeah, he did c4. This was an interesting line. Maybe here just long castle finally was the move.
With that, he didn't like that.
And the two bishops will come out, and king is going to be simply very weak.
Yeah, maybe. But it's a pawn. White, though, went for... And very quickly, he's played very fast, this c4. So let's see. Maybe it's just simply... Is this so obvious?
If he takes, then is the plan to play knight d2? Kind of wanting to take with a knight, and if c3, then rook c1.
And we are
is
really
that in
fast
any way
here.
possible? Bishop b4,
a3.
a3, and now queen going somewhere away. Let's say to v6.
And this is crazy.
Oh, but there's still these problems.
But we can't really do it. Aren't we too slow?
There are a lot of problems for
97
black here,
king
yeah.
f8, and okay, we are attacking a lot of pieces. Both sides are attacking again. Just too many pieces. Okay, taking.
Okay, something is not right here.
No, I think we can't afford knight
No, but
d7.
here is also knight takes f6 still, with the threat of knight d7.
And it will be fork for the king and the queen.
Okay,
If
let's
we
count the
take-
material afterwards.
King e7.
And which queen do we take?
Mm,
I guess we take this one.
I wanted to say the one on b6.
Because king on e7 is very not like out there, and actually
No, but then we were with the piece up, weren't we? And now also. No.
we don't have a rook.
Okay, we don't have a rook. Okay, so what is happening?
So the queen is under attack.
No, but I mean, here black is safe. You can just go bishop d... no, black is safe, but okay, that's too much. And bishop d2 can be played. And if you take, I want to just go queen d4 and exchange.
Now I'm piece up.
So white is not... No, so black is not fine.
So black is not fine.
I mean,
yeah.
almost every move for the past 10 moves was taking, so probably there were some issues with this.
But it's
line.
very nice geometrical idea that at least how we made it like, okay. Of course, this is certainly not the best line and so on, but it just looks very nice that knight from f5 suddenly takes the pawn, takes the bishop, takes the knight, takes the knight.
And then it's still to the rook on a8.
And then
we took
till
all
the-
of the black pieces of this knight. Okay.
That doesn't happen usually on the board, but
I
yeah,
don't
it's
think
very
they are
nice.
counting this. So what are they counting actually?
So maybe 92 is working out.
And because of this line, it's clearly in favor of white. That's why he went c4 so quickly, because it's obvious that it's good.
No, but another idea that he could have is just to play knight c3 here, and anyways with rook c1, and then also knight c3 has an additional threat of knight b5 and knight to d6
Yeah, actually,
coming.
which is also unpleasant. But I think actually, I mean, in a practical position at least, it's really tricky for Tari now. Okay,
He
bishop
can play
g6.
d4 just
He
as
went
well.
bishop g6.
Okay, so it's also logical, I mean, just to deal with this.
I moved this knight who just has taken all of his army. He doesn't want to allow that, so he's attacking this knight. That's logical. And what now?
So if knight e3, then I think black is fine for sure. I mean, this position is kind of forced, taking.
Maybe with the pawn. Can he take with the pawn?
But it's,
Or it's too...
probably gonna end up to be a weakness. And
I kind of want to just have some dynamic play. Knight d2, rook c1 with a tempo, and then knights.
I think I'm doing very good here with black. I don't see any further ideas from the white side. The bishop is just bad. We can't get e3 too comfortably.
Cocky.
But
yeah, maybe.
But I think that the main line could be knight h4 here. So it's attacking the bishop. If we retreat with the bishop, let's say to h7, then we are taking the pawn from white side. So this is already a pawn. And it might be what's going to happen, but yeah, it's very complicated to say something about this position. I assume bishop c5 could be idea to look at this diagonal and kind of also preparing a trick.
That's what we like.
Because I think that knight here to, for example, knight d2 is already a mistake due to g5, knight f3, e4. Oh no, I wanted to take on g3, but yeah,
You can't do it.
Can't manage
yeah,
to
there
get
is
that
no
going.
more. The bishop on c5 is covered, so... But this is extremely exciting position, actually.
So what's the idea after knight h4? We can't allow just taking on g6, can we? Oh, okay, maybe it's bishop e4 the idea. And then after taking...
Bishop c2. That's not helping.
Or is he gonna take here? We're kind of trying to find a useful square for this
okay,
bishop.
rook b1 and then d4. But then bishop on g2 is such a powerful
so
piece, and light
powerful.
squares are all weak. And we can even just pretty soon we'll just go f4 maybe.
Yeah,
to
well,
open everything up.
if white manages to find a good square for this knight from h4, he's gonna be much better. But for now, of course, there is no square for the knight, and this might be something that black can play for, but not sure.
Okay, in general now, I guess Maxim is not by the board, so it's not like he's spending his time. But yeah, this will be very interesting to see. Yeah, but so
he blitzed out c4 and he expected black to be thinking a lot.
But then, what is the conclusion? What to do after knight h4?
Well, I think this is the position that is the critical one, and that the knight on h4 is actually a bad piece and might be enough to compensate for the bishop.
But I can just jump to f5, can't I, with the knight? And if you go g6, then I mean after f4.
But you have to go back to h4. Like, you want to go knight f5, g6, knight h4?
No, I have it as an option.
Okay, but also what I wanted to point out is that supposedly this is a very strong bishop, but once we play just rook d8 and b6, does this bishop have any future threats? It's not going to participate on attack on the king side, and there will be not a single thing to attack on the queen side.
Well, I think once we open up the game, then there will be what to attack. But I'm saying it as a big fan of the bishop pair. No, well, to be honest, I think white is better here. That's my guess. Since we are not playing, we can have a lot of statements. They might be true or not, but...
Well, if I would have to choose, I would choose black. It just seems...
Really?
Yeah, the position seems more correct from the black.
Okay, I don't want to
side.
play it against you. But Maxim came back to the board and he played very quickly knight h4. Very interesting that he's playing so fast and so confident. And yeah, especially playing with such a strong player, but...
Yes, now bishop b1 seems like the option because other moves are simply slow. And
unless he will really just give up on g6. And let's say he will go now, he will even maybe take on c4.
yeah, but that seems crazy. This king is so weak. Like, just simply crazy from the perspective that the king is so very weak.
Yeah, but now we have all those lines of knight d2, c3.
And this is also weak, but yeah, maybe.
Okay,
It's a very
let's see.
shocking move for me.
Let's see what Aryan Tari will now decide to do after knight h4, and let's maybe jump to some other game, maybe board number 18. On board number 18, we have a Polish player, Roman Tomaszewski, who is an IM. His rating is now only 2205, but he's a very interesting player because he already many years ago. Okay, don't want to now say the wrong year, but I think already like around 20, 30 years ago, he had, or even more, he had medal in Polish championships. Very extremely experienced player of huge knowledge, and now he's basically hasn't played for many years. Then he came back to chess, so he's not playing that often, but yeah, it's just extremely interesting person as well. So let's see, can he create some trouble for the Deepan grandmaster from India?
So the game started with very unusual opening, knight f6, knight c6 by black. I don't think actually I have seen it ever, so I can't really comment on it. No, so knight f3, trying to just to play normal chess, and kind of what is black's idea. So I guess he was going to go for some hippopotamus setup, which is with d6, and then later on with b6 and bishop to b7, and
But isn't it with knights on e7 and d7 straight away?
okay, actually I don't know if
Because
it's-
actually what happened in the game, we can see now, the white went d5, and it's funny because black's knights in few moves, they did end up on e7 and d7, but only after making 4 moves, not 2. But yeah, well, generally, I guess for black, the idea is to avoid theory and provoke white.
Yeah, provoke some weaknesses like here. I guess he's saying that he has opened up this bishop, so this is already something for him. He's trying to create a square for his knight on c5. That's why there was a5,
And not only actually you're provoking on the board, you're also provoking white to think, because I mean, let's face it, this is definitely not the best opening for black, and so white is kind of trying to come up with some idea how to punish such a play, and so you're also losing some time. But yeah, I actually think black is now completely fine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that the white's plan and approach, it didn't work out. And now he took on e6, and the next move he played queen c2. There was not a concrete idea how he wants to expand, but he takes and then he plays positionally, which is a little bit something I don't understand, because it opens up another piece for black. It opens up the rook, and there can be some problems on the king side later on. Like the pawns are going to come h6, g5, for example, and we are going to have to just deal with a lot of issues.
Actually, what is the white plan here? White's plan. Like you want to push, let's say you want to go rook d1 and then b4 and kind of try to go c5?
I think the white's entire plan so far has been focused on not allowing knight coming to c5. And that now that he would be able to meet knight c5 with b4, and that in these lines, yeah, it would be all working out. This is not hanging anymore. Okay, we can't take queen c3 because then e4 pawn is hanging, but we can exchange a lot of stuff and kind of say that, yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah, because also rook d1 will come and should
But
be
of
fine.
course, that's not the only plan for black here, and yeah, now he can just play a normal move like I think h6, and again, white will have to think what to do, and it's really not clear, yeah, as you mentioned, that what is the plan and where the pieces are going. Because if you compare with this position, and if you play queen c2 here, I don't know, did he maybe not like that after e5 then f5 will come
And those typical kind of King's Indian stuff are going to happen, and he doesn't really like it.
But this would be King's Indian with, I guess, extra 2 tempi. Because of, okay, there was...
And especially that you can already go b4, I guess that's what you wanna have.
Okay, I don't know if the taking would happen, but the idea that, yeah, c5 is already there, and this is just so slow, none of the pieces are ready. So...
Okay, I would be scared to say that this is so slow, because in practical game, I mean, maybe he kind of... Okay, hard to say. Maybe he, let's say, he plays it with black, and he likes the structures with the other color, so then it's difficult to switch and play it from the other side, especially if you enjoy it with other color. Okay, well, he decided that. We can check it later, but now we can... yeah, go to some other game already.
How about the game that we already took a look at, but we just concluded it's interesting? So, Kristaps against Gukesh D. And, yeah, we left it.
Yeah, by the way, Karsten, he wrote on the chat that it's Lasker Pelican variation. Yeah, I don't know names for those small, like, lines, but you also wrote that yeah, knight b5. Of course, there is this knight b5 huge line with sacrificing the piece on b5, ab, bishop b5, and white has 2 pawns, often also taking on f5, ef, so then there are already 3 pawns.
I actually played it in a game and managed to win it. Very nice game with this sacrifice on b5.
So. Yeah, it's very interesting, but playing white, I would expect that Gukesh definitely has this line worked out, and with his brain and this, you know, youth, and probably his memory is also amazing. Probably he can be really prepared, and white just, yeah, as we were speaking, white couldn't prepare for this game because the pairings disappeared. So yeah, it's kind of tricky to go for such a line, but it's definitely very, very interesting. But yeah. Who knows if black is prepared, and can get very, very tricky as well. But so what happened here?
So f4 in this moment, I guess very logical move, just not letting white to open up this diagonal in any way, and also taking away the square on e3, like potentially for the knight, because it's very usual to want to get the knight in through c2 to e3 further. So f4, castle was played, knight c2, and now f5. Another pawn is going to f5.
So yeah, we had such games already. In this position, f5 is definitely, like, seems the main move. Seems definitely the most logical, because I mean black has here bishop pair. They want to open the bishops. Get some activity for the pieces.
And white is probably have to continue with the usual plans, and that's the game on the queen side, so probably with either a4 or just knight choosing a different route to b4 and getting exchanged there.
Okay, but after f5, what is happening if we take on f5?
Oh wow. This is already...
But I guess this is... Okay, and f6, but there is not even a mate, right?
Did we sacrifice something? No.
We sacked a piece. Black just takes on f6, right?
No, he can't really. I was wondering about that, but there is just a simple...
right,
and there is no piece going to h6, and that's it.
But can you do it... No, you couldn't. And can you do it with the rook?
Oh, you can take with the rook. That's right.
Yeah, because then we just make a place on f8.
Yeah, and
there isn't even a check.
there are two pieces attacking, and that's obviously nothing. So this is
Okay, so
refuted.
now we know why it can be played. So, okay, I like the move that you suggested, a4. I mean, let's open some place for the rook.
Probably the classical taking and a5 is the stuff that should have happened, and then what to do with this knight? All the squares are getting taken away from it, and we need to get it into game somehow.
So now we could...
Should we go knight e3?
Yeah, to jump to c4. And we have to be careful not to lose those pieces there. For example, some queen d7 with ideas. We are looking now at this rook on a4.
Yeah, something can happen there, but also there are no so strong jumps for this knight, and now knight c7 is an idea.
Yeah, but look, just looking at the structure, yeah, just white will hope to keep those pawns from moving to even after f takes e4, bishop e4 to keep the blockade.
On the light squares, the blockade, yeah, so that this bishop wouldn't get too powerful and that he wouldn't join the game really.
Yeah, and that pawns can never really move forward because they will be lost. Simply, they will be too weak. And yeah, then just hoping to stay solid, play on D line, hoping for yes, and play on the A file. On the other hand, of course, black wants to break the blockade, get his activity, and wants some exchanges, and yeah, bishops will be active. Then that's black's idea, in short.
Yeah, but I guess when I just think about it, then if we have this issue that black plays a5 later on and takes away the squares, then maybe I would prefer to try to start straight away with dealing with this knight, and that kind of would lead to a totally different game.
Okay, but then black will probably exchange.
Exchange. If we take with a pawn, then this is not very pleasant. This bishop opens up, so that's bad news.
Actually, couldn't black do it after a4 as well?
Okay, after a4.
But knight was hanging.
So you want to, yeah, here the knight is hanging, so this is... This is not so good, yeah, anymore. This bishop doesn't do anything, also this structure is solid.
Yeah, before the pawn took on, from c3 took on b4, so the bishop was much more active there.
So yeah, let's say knight b4 and exchanges. Now we don't have to worry anymore after about the taking on d5, and we are threatening actually to take on f5, so black would have to react to this somehow. Yeah, actually hard to say which is the best move, but it's possible that black should force white to go back to this d5 square, because if not for that, then this white square blockade will happen very soon with some exchanges included. So maybe he needs to play a5 here and to force this knight to go back to d5. But now, again, b5 pawn is maybe a little problem.
But then maybe... Can we go b4?
Yeah, maybe we can go b4 and...
No, first we take on d... No, can we take on d... No, we can't.
No.
If we take on d5, then ed, and after bishop...
Yeah, and here, if we take on b4, then we can take on d5 and play e4.
Yeah, that's the plan. But I think white will go c4.
c4, yes, exactly.
That's what I wanted to avoid by taking first on d5. But now, and
this will be this quite classical equalish position with different colored bishops.
Well, unless white... no. Unless, no, black will manage some b3 stuff and then playing on the b2 pawn.
Yeah, but I will never let you open up this diagonal. I will do whatever I can to just keep it closed.
Yeah, so there is basically, that's what this whole position is about. White wants to keep it closed, black wants to somehow open it. Interesting. If some taking in the future will happen on d5 and ed, this will get very, very dynamic.
Yeah, so this an a4 was played. a4 is on the board, so he chose this plan, yeah.
So now we were expecting taking an a5.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's hard to react. Like the pawn was hanging, and if you just defend it, then it's taking. White is opening up the play, and also there's play on two sides of the board, and could get problematic for black. So that's why taking. And now, not to allow knight. First of all, the pawn is okay. It's not hanging because e4 pawn is also under attack, but we want to take away this possibility of knight b4, especially now. It's with the a file open. It could be extra unpleasant. So a5 is an logical move, and we were thinking how to get the knight into the game and suggesting knight a3, but it's also possible that first you should try to do something with the rook, maybe rook d1.
Yeah, I mean, so many options. This is such a rich position still, and still quite.
But yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so rich position, just all the time you can notice ideas. And another idea that we kind of didn't look at is that in this lines you can knight e7. And now this
And now e4, so
e4 is gonna come.
Away after a4? No, then you're still too slow, probably.
Yes, then you have this pawn hanging either on b5 or on a6, so it doesn't really work out. But we could do the same after knight a3, I assume.
Knight e7, and yeah, that's the point, that we are not only attacking on d5, we are defending on f5. But okay, on d5 you can take, because bishop c4 and you can't defend your knight. So maybe we will play some f3. Only our queen on h5 is stuck.
Yeah, this queen is not doing too good, and after check...
And queen b2, you can even
queen
afford
b2,
that.
right, yeah.
Okay, so those white pieces are... This is what misplaced means, basically. But now e4?
e4, bishop... Yeah, that's a good question. Where is bishop going?
And then bishop will come to e5. Black can start to think also about some attack on the g file.
Exactly. If we put bishop e2, we always have to worry about f3 and the g file opening. But of course, also don't have to rush with that. Can start with queen b6 simply, and
Okay.
not too good news for white, I guess.
Okay. So what to do after taking and a5? Did he miss it, just like we did, or he has something prepared? Let's say c4. Can you try that?
Now c4.
With the idea, well, we still just want to keep those light squares, and after bishop d5, we are preparing cd to keep e4.
And if we go like rook b8.
But yeah, that's now
attacking the pawn on b2, which is actually not too easy to defend.
No, but now we can take on the f5. Because knight is not hanging on d5, right?
Oh, that's true.
Ah, that's tricky.
So that's something.
So bishop d5 now will take, and f6 is coming. Could be coming. Although, as we said, actually it's not that dangerous.
But
yeah,
it's a pawn, yeah.
After c4, it's ef is again option.
Okay, so what should then black do here? Because we don't want to take here, I assume, because well, this bishop is gonna become too powerful. So we have to keep it closed, and we can't anymore also play queen d7 or anything because there is knight b6.
Okay, can black try to take on d5, or it's
That's gonna lead
knight e7? But that doesn't look too dangerous, right?
Yeah, the bishop is still on g7 very passive, so at least a draw can always white make by just simply exchanging the b pawn. But maybe even can play for something more. No, yeah, as we can't take on d5 due to bishop c4,
and probably this could be the situation where white bishop is better than black bishop because of the king.
Actually, it would be a big decision to take on f5 because you're ruining your pawn structure, and most likely you're gonna lose one of those pawns. And this knight is not gonna end up on e4 that soon, or on e6, or on c6, or anywhere.
But now, after rook f6, you can go rook fa1. We are threatening b4, and you are. I mean, I think white is just faster here, at least for the blitz game. When black doesn't have the time to consolidate. No, but Yeah, this rook fa1 will be quite dangerous. Once your knight goes away from c6, a5 is much more, yeah, it's just some.
Yeah, it could be
Target.
that the rook is out of the game on f6. So yeah, very complicated position, and we see that Gukesh is spending a lot of time. Yeah, he has only 40 minutes left, so that's
Actually,
not so much.
That's what I actually wanted to mention. Last year we also had Dan, the youngest grandmaster here. Pragnananda was here actually with his sister. They both played recently. He won the Open in, where was it?
In Denmark, is Strakon Open?
Yeah, and yeah, his sister Vaishali, she made the GM norm. So also congratulations to them. Yeah, but also they were here, and then he was also, we were following him, of course, and he was not feeling so comfortable here, I guess, and he was spending quite a lot of time, so couldn't find his game. Just came to my mind now when we are looking at this game, but of course it doesn't mean anything, just that he spent time now. But yeah, the position is very interesting. Who would you choose here?
At which point exactly?
No, no, in the position they are having on the board.
Oh, so the position that they are having on the board is after a4. I guess I would choose white. I'm always enjoying white side in these structures in the Sochnikov lines, even though they are maybe from theoretical point of view or from the engine perspective not considered to be so good, but I like them. Yeah, just those light square blockades, and this game on the light squares is always seems so appealing, and that's that it's
against Gukesh as well.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so let's come back to maybe board number 1.
Yeah, the game is heating up. So this was the game with which we left after rook h4. So Kovalenko was going for it. He chose to go for the attack, and Victoria so played bishop e7. Being ready, I guess, just to meet bishop g5 with g6. Is that? Or h6? What do you think?
I guess you have to decide for either one of those.
But probably that was her idea, one of those,
h6 looks a bit scary, but maybe there is nothing. I mean, okay, you have to count taking, yeah? What else? Taking, but king g7, right?
Yeah, king g7, attacking the rook, all the squares are for now controlled.
Rook has to go away, and then we can
well,
even
we
just
still
go.
can go queen d2.
And then knight
threatening,
e4.
Yeah, knight e4, queen e3.
Maybe even f5. Can we be so?
That's
Or
already
no, but
quite
that
brave, yeah.
Maybe instead of knight e4, something like, wait.
Maybe knight h7 just.
Or knight.
To
or
take.
knight g4. What if you go with black? Knight g4. Rook h5, you have to go. And then we are threatening h3.
Okay, but also there's maybe rook h8.
h3, knight f6, queen h5, queen h6.
Maybe that's fine. Although, yeah, pieces are coming and it's all the time new ideas, but who knows? In these positions, I guess it's either you're fine or you're not.
Yeah, that's true. But okay, definitely it's a big pressure for Victoria now to choose. I mean, g6 in general is better. I think, wasn't it played already? Yeah, we have g6 and bishop is also on h6 already.
Yeah, but well, Igor didn't go for bishop g5. So he went for bishop f4, attacking queen d8, and then he went, developed rook d1, and a5. He went such a move by Victoria. So I guess she didn't want to commit on anything on the king side yet, so trying to improve the queen side position.
Maybe her idea is somehow to have b6, rook a7, or no, but rook can never join the defense there. Really, there won't be that many.
I think it's more to stop b4 somewhere in the future and this kind of expansion. Interesting. Of course, we don't know exactly what was her plan, but certainly she had one.
I guess she's just trying to get some kind of game and not make too many weaknesses. Let's say I mean, b6, and also c6 is getting more weak, so she just wants to be, I guess, careful, but get some game as well. Knight e5, now g6.
G6, yeah, there's.
I mean, because
and
yeah,
G4.
g4, that's the point, that black has to start to worry about that.
So G4, rook f8,
Bishop h6.
and the rook went.
That looks
Rook went
tricky.
back to e8, and now bishop went to g5. Okay, so
What is now the threat?
is he
What will-
preparing knight f7, bishop takes here, and then taking on h7?
Okay, let's see. Can he do it? Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
What
the
black
thing
do,
is that the
actually.
bishop is so bad on c8 that we don't know really what to do. Like, so what are the useful
Okay,
moves?
bishop d7, let's say.
Actually, no, I guess he's not gonna go for it because bishop on d7, it doesn't help in any way, so he can just afford to bring in some more pieces. Maybe g4 idea is actually to play
Rook
rook
d3,
d3,
yes,
rook
I wanted to
h3.
suggest it. And then there's rook on h4. You wouldn't expect it actually after rook on h4 that the other rook will also join on h3. That's pretty good, but actually maybe this is possible.
If you play like bishop d7 so slowly, yeah, it
Yeah,
could be
maybe
the
you
case.
can't. Maybe you can't do it. But what can you do? You can't move the b pawn because pawn is hanging on c6.
Okay, what if I take
Knight
go
d7.
bishop knight d7?
But
so
maybe then he's preparing knight f7. Yeah, king f7 and rook h7.
oh, okay, and there's queen g6 still.
Yeah, now king can't stay on f7.
Okay, for a moment I thought that
That's
that
bad.
maybe, yeah, here we could sacrifice a queen, but probably that's not a good idea, as this knight is a little bit trapped.
But we can. Huh. Interesting. But then, yeah, knight c6. What probably has to be played,
Or knight d6 or d5. All of those look like a possibility, and that the material advantage maybe will be in for the black, but white will have huge activity for the queen, and this undeveloped pieces will still be
okay,
an issue.
but this is still an option, and for white now the issue will be that if black manages to consolidate, this dark square bishop is a good defender of the king, right? He'll go somewhere to f6, king g7, and after d5 also knight will go to e5 somehow. I mean, if we will.
If you
Manage
manage.
Is it manageable? Okay, it's difficult to assess this position now for sure. We have white has pawn up. So, okay.
Okay, still there's this knight on d8. Something has to be done with it.
Okay, let's say d5.
Say d5. We could probably take with no. What should we do? Should we take?
Okay, taking rook. Okay, this looks bad. Taking on c6, knight also hanging there.
Something is gonna fall, right? There are still checks in there, and
Yeah, this actually, I mean, hard to
or
say.
yeah, just if I play rook b8. Okay, no, queen c7. No, queen
Queen
c7
c7.
doesn't threaten anything.
We're threatening rook d7.
No, you're not.
Oh, no, we're not. Okay, but this is very impressive research that you found, like of this queen. But Victoria already played something. Did she go knight d7 then?
No, she went. Okay, there have been still a couple of more moves. So the idea of a5 was to play a4, and rook d3 was meant by rook a5.
Okay, so this rook wants to get in the game.
Okay, I have
So now after
absolutely
rook
no
h3
idea what's going on here. So after rook h3, is she planning to really sacrifice something somehow, somewhere?
I mean, queen d4, what will you do?
Or queen d4? Okay, I didn't see that this one is hanging.
That's, I guess, the
Okay,
idea
knight
that you
takes
can play for
f7.
that. I take the knight. I will take everything.
Oh, you take the knight. I thought maybe you want to take on g5.
That's surprising. And if we take on g5, you just take on g5.
Yeah, but here I'm just mating. Am I not?
Okay, let's take the rook.
Queen G7 seems like the only
No,
defense.
King F8. King F8 we can do.
King F8, there's Bishop H6, and the
yeah.
next move is this.
So we have to give up a queen once again. Queen G7.
I guess it has to be taken, but this kind. Okay, there is still
Queen,
a check.
Yeah, Queen C3. So Rook on A5 is falling.
So this is winning for white, so we can't.
But Knight
take.
F7. Is there something else we can do?
Well, I thought about taking on a G5, and now to play for the. Oh, Knight G4. I like this one.
Okay. But we can go Rook H7.
Oh, there's everything is protected, and here.
Queen G6.
Oh, Queen G6. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
That's enough.
Queen G6 once again.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the idea?
What is happening? What is Igor counting? No, he went C5.
Okay, so he just. Okay, so this is still here. C5 just.
I mean, what do you do when you're playing with first game with, let's say, quite player which is well, convincingly lower rated yourself? Would you go for something very sharp, or would you prefer to kind of minimalize the counting? Let's say you don't want to give up on D4 or something, and you just kind of.
Yeah, but I already went Rook H4 and G4, so
yeah, but
it's
also now
kind of
Black was Black's game. Maybe he just kind of doesn't want to count anything, and he's just.
Okay, but for
taking
example,
away
what if I now
squares.
play this Knight D7?
Knight F7.
Yeah, in the same line.
Again, sacrificing this queen.
Okay, so yeah, the problem is the bishop on C8. But now, still Rook from B5, I think it will be already, we can count it as developed. So white has to have something very direct, very fast.
Let's go back to Knight D7. After C5, we have a position now, 21st move C5. And Knight D7, Toms is offering for Victoria.
I don't think that it was actually that, yeah, too good move, this C5, exactly from this practical perspective. Like, it was an attempt to not give any chances opponent, but it's also
But what if
taking
you
away
do that?
possibilities.
Take on D7. No, I wanted to take on D7.
On D7 still, okay.
Maybe we don't have to.
How can you take on D7?
Bishop E7,
Yeah?
Knight D7. Ah, there is this.
Yeah, there is this. Okay, maybe the dark squares are strong enough.
No, okay, but then let's go Rook H3 instead of Knight D7. But Knight E5, Rook H7 we can play, yeah? Or we can't.
Let's see. Is there a mate? There's a check. There's another check.
But king is running away and our queen is suddenly... But D5 maybe.
Or just queen A4 with a.
Queen E4, yeah.
Oh, but E5 I think
E5.
will be strong. And the bishop is in the game, and
And king also can slowly run away to E6 and D7, C7.
yeah,
So
this
there
is
no
good.
mate. Okay,
Quite
so
good,
Knight
yeah.
E7, will she go for it? No, she's still thinking, right?
Okay, it's not 100% certain there's still no mate. I mean, we have to look at some other lines here as well. I mean, just still taking, and
But now king E7 we can always play.
okay, after D5 really.
D5, the idea is that now after taking we have queen C3 and attacking the rook and the king.
But maybe you can still take it.
You're
And-
going to F5. I mean, we have H4 here. It looks too much.
Yeah, but I'm threatening mate in case.
No,
oh no,
you're
you
not
can take.
threatening mate.
Okay. Oh, but still, maybe it's fine. Okay, no.
No, rook
okay, so I'm a
F7
little
is
bit.
coming. Oh, yeah, rook F7, bishop F5.
Yeah, no, this is not gonna end good. That's
Yeah.
another check.
King E5,
Yeah, rook E7. And,
bishop E6.
should we look at that? Okay. Here, bishop E6.
You can't defend on F2, that's the problem.
Okay, queen
no,
c3.
but queen c3 and then queen g3. Okay, you can defend.
Yeah, but now there are back rank problems.
I don't think this was yet again forced line.
But it's certainly, yeah, interesting with a lot of possibilities.
Yes, the games are very. Even though the difference in rating is big, there is a lot of action happening, anyways.
Or maybe there's something very simple after
97.
all these lines.
And we can't sack on. Or
Can we take on h7? King takes.
h7.
Now let's take. Okay, but it's gonna be pretty much the same, right? Can even do this if we need to, or we can choose to play queen c7.
And king g7, but bishop. No, bishop h6 and king takes f7.
So our pieces are not really working, so we can't.
She played rook b7.
Okay.
Well, probably
Rook
they
b5,
both see
yeah.
knight f7. Maybe they don't see this queen sacrifice at all, or maybe it's also not good.
Well, it's also scary, this queen sacrifice. I mean, the bishop on c8 is out of the game, and you don't know if it's coming back or no. But then again, we don't know it also about it right now. So if you play a long positional game, then we're playing without the bishop on c8.
Okay. What is happening here? What if rook goes to h3 now?
So now the idea is that there is an extra motive, rook b2.
But didn't we think that knight f7 is...
Yeah, but
But now
maybe
maybe
now
not.
rook
Yeah, rook
b2 is
b2.
already...
Queen g6, I guess, is not working. It's too much.
Yeah, we would need one more knight somewhere, or...
Or queen on b1. So, okay, it's not possible.
And don't see any other moves right now. Any threats, any way to kind of create something. So
And yeah, our king can also become kind of weak. And those pawns.
okay, so rook b5 idea is clear. So looking at b2 pawn, what to do with white now? How to continue the
He
attack?
already played something.
Oh, he did.
We see it on the board. We still don't have it in the game.
Okay, it was not rook h3.
Maybe we can see a board a little bit closer to try and figure it out. But he seems to be pretty chilled.
He did take on f7.
Ah, he took.
Oh wow, instantly. Oh no, I thought I understood the idea, but then
King
again.
takes. Maybe now rook h3 or no, bishop f6 just.
Bishop f6, so bishop takes f6.
What is happening?
Oh, okay, and now
rook
after
f3 is coming, yeah?
Yes, and I thought that this doesn't make sense, but there is queen g6 after
And
that.
queen d4, and the problem is rook also on e8 is hanging.
Okay, so, and we can't really do, and if we play something like rook e7, then I assume just rook h3 and rook h8 is mate.
And nothing we can do about it. King f8 also doesn't help. Something else except rook? No, rook e7.
And what about king g8, then after, I guess,
And what
rook
about
h3?
king f8? No, king f8.
But then we don't attack anything. And white is free to do any move he wants. Even just like rook f3.
Rook f3, but now queen d4, we are not getting some
Thought I was
time.
going to mate.
Again, just mating. But now rook e7, rook f6.
Rook h8 also.
Also, it's also there, alright.
And the thing
I
is
guess
that
we are
if
too pinned
we
here
can't
as black.
take this because it's just mate as well.
So, what to do? Is there something that Victoria can do to
Okay,
at
but
least
let's
prolong
see
this
this.
game?
Here, so g6 is
And the
under
problem is
attack.
we can't
and
defend it, and king on g8 is still under the check, so... And there is just no way to defend it.
yeah, that's, well, crazy.
Nothing to do.
Well, it did feel to me that, yeah, Victoria should go for some decision, but
To go knight d7. Okay.
otherwise, yeah, white
Curious
pieces
if that
are
was really
coming
her
in.
chance, or it was just too late that black pieces just are too passive.
So what is...
Bishop f6. What? Is there something?
Can she think to take with a king?
But rook f3.
Yeah, then we go king g7, I
Rook
think.
h7. Ah, but you go king h6, yeah?
Yeah. Of course, if king h8, then that's a mate.
Ah, the same you wanna do if from the other side you wanna go, if we go rook f7 first, king f7, rook h7, you again go king f6, yeah?
Sorry, I didn't follow that.
If, let's say, in this position, white has two options,
Oh,
to give
okay.
up one rook or another rook, and both scenarios will just go for it with the king, yeah? But
Yeah.
now, what if just f4?
Yeah, well, of course, this is question. g5 is a threat of mate.
Okay, g5 for black is the only move.
We still have also e6, but probably that's not
E5.
e5. But yeah. Okay, so g5.
No, e5, then we take.
Okay, and g5, h4.
And now e5.
Yeah, but there is after all mate. Just
Yeah,
queen.
always we have queen c4 and
Or, okay, sorry, queen f5 just.
or that.
So yeah, g5, h4, and that's unstoppable mate, I guess. Wow, beautiful line.
What
Don't-
will she do now?
Might be too late already.
But if everything, the knight f7 is a really beautiful sacrifice. Actually, quite thematical in such position, to just kind of break all these, this kind of like black try to create this blockade with h7, g6, f7, but yeah, just blowing the position up. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, Igor's attempt with rook h4 to get a quick point has worked out, at least according to our analysis.
Okay,
It's just
I mean,
deadly,
it looks
yeah.
just interesting.
Okay, bishop f6 she did play. And yeah, rook h7, of course, he blitzes out.
It's unpleasant to have such a game, and you know that you're on the board number 1, and you have such a difficult opponent, and he's just going with, yeah, all he has on you. Okay, let's see board number 2. Let's not look maybe this. We'll come back to see how it
Finished,
went.
probably.
Yeah, possibly. So here, okay, you were right. The Indian women international master captured back on e3 with the knight. So your intuition for women chess is better than mine. I don't know if it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good question. But okay, but like now we see that Robert is certainly controlling this game, and yeah, that's, I think we can safely conclude that by bishop being on b1. Doesn't feel like the square for the piece to be, and the knight, yeah, has come from g5, so we left it here.
Oh, she went to b1 to the to exchange it on a2, or was bishop on? No, bishop was on a2.
Yeah, that's the. She was having problems with defending a4 pawn, so she had to go bishop b1, and now bishop e6 is taking control of this diagonal, and
Okay, white will try to go d4. In the future, I already see d4, queen c2, and mate on h7.
there's might not be so much time for the future because rook b2 is gonna come, so we have to act soon. Maybe
You think now will be played?
okay, but d4 now we can't do, I think, because of rook b4,
d5.
and then it's
You go back and.
okay. We still can hang on to everything, but.
But knight b7, knight c5 could be very unpleasant.
Oh, yeah,
or-
that also. That's true. Knight could come to c5, or also just bringing in the pieces and controlling literally everything on the board.
All right, so let's see maybe board number 3. Can we?
Oh, well. That's a different position than we saw before. Okay, so Abasa Nijad against Vedat Drais. There was a position early in the opening that we saw that black was thinking very much, and he chose to go for taking on g2, and then with bishop to take on d7, not to hit the queen, and yeah, f4. I assume that this was all more or less home preparation by Nijat. He knows the openings that he's playing, he knows them well. And well, yeah, here we can see how this positional advantage, thanks to this extra central pawn, is coming into the play, and quickly he gets a bishop pair and is pushing on all those weaknesses. So bishop on e6 is monstrous, so it's just totally cutting off the black's king. Knight f8 and f5. So this is not gonna go anywhere, and if we take, then after taking, this is a strong pawn.
And white is planning to go to the rook endgame.
Or simply to mate on the king side.
That's also a good idea, probably.
And another thing that we have to note is that black has only 10 minutes on the clock.
Oh wow, and Abasov has over 1 hour and 10 minutes. So 1 hour difference, that's gonna be pretty unpleasant for black to face in few minutes.
Yeah, it looks like a very clean game so far by Abasov. Just yeah, going with the idea, just 9 minutes on the clock, you see in the camera. Yeah, wow.
Probably not enough to solve all the problems. All right, maybe let's see still board number 4, where we have been following this game also. Maxim Evchin against Aryan Tari, and then we'll go for a short break. And you guys prepare yourself and let us know in the comments what games will you want to see afterwards. And yeah, just let us know.
So here after knight h4, exactly, his plan really was to take on b1 and d4 to try to close it.
And here you chose black, I chose white. We'll see who is going to be right.
So rook d8, exactly as I would expect, just getting everything out of the light square diagonal, and now regrouping the knight.
Actually, what happened? I mean, the white player was playing so fast, and now suddenly he has spent his time?
Yeah, so it was, I guess, quite simple moves from the black. So black was just playing normally, and white is actually thinking how to play and what to do. And now he decided with e3 to try to break it open. So he's playing for the fact that the king is on e8, and it's not so easy to develop this bishop, because once the bishop goes somewhere, we have knight coming to f5 very
Okay, but
quickly.
if you go just castle,
the 2 bishops against 2 knights, that's an interesting setup. But considering that the position is gonna open up, I guess we would have to prefer bishops, don't you think?
well, I think so. That's why I chose white already a long time ago. Well, yeah, I think practically this is really, really tricky for black still for some time.
Okay, yeah, this b4 is very probably annoying because it just doesn't allow to develop the bishop. Also, for example, to d6 in the lines of exchanges, we can't play normally bishop d6 because c5 is just coming. And also, well, we don't have also bishop c5 or all the other
I think
squares.
you simply can't take on e3, but if you can't take on e3, you have to develop. If you won't develop, then we will soon...
Okay, what if we play g6?
Rook e1 I am planning. I just want to take on d4 now. Now you want to go bishop e7, yeah?
Or g7, I'm not sure.
If you go bishop g7, I take on d4. Right? It's enough.
Okay, yeah, bishop e7
The knight
now.
on e6 is pinned. That's why rook e1. Not a very sophisticated trap, but was enough.
And maybe now with the black squares we can play knight f3. So this will be something to worry about. Queen is looking to h6 in case of short castle. Yeah, something
yeah,
is
actually knight f3 is also unpleasant to attack the pawns.
To be honest, now that I look at it, this position I liked still for black, but then there's 2 moves, knight going to e6, and suddenly, yeah, just there are problems. So...
But it's... maybe you had to go a5?
Yeah, a5 actually, that's
But
an interesting move.
I mean, kind of feels slow. Maybe I just go a3. But then knight c5 is
Yeah,
a
then
little
it's
better.
a lot stronger. But could you play c5 here? I guess that should be a consideration.
Just going for it using the fact that queen is on c7 and our rook is on c1 and we have so much more. We're just so much faster.
Although I guess here we just take the pawn, right? The knight from d7 does protect it.
Still a3. At queen b6.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need it. Maybe we are not faster anymore.
So maybe a5, yeah, exactly. Just to try to finish development, and this was already too much to still keep jumping with the knight.
It sounds funny when you don't really. It sounds just funny. A5 to finish development. It doesn't make too much sense. But yeah, the idea is that if we kind of try to hold those dark squares, yeah, we don't allow before, we maybe will go bishop before ourselves, so we are kind of faster. But yeah. Okay, let's see, maybe we'll have some interesting turn of events for the stronger player. Okay, Tommy LeBlanc, hi, see you joined us in the chat. I remember you were also during the Tal Memorial with us, right? If I'm not mistaken. But nice to see you anyway. And board one, Victor, sorry, not Victor, Igor. I wanted to say one and I confused. Igor won his game already, so very convincing, very fast win for him. Yeah, nice win. If you are just...
I guess it's the first result from the boards that we see. So, first board, first result. That's
yeah.
Convincing, yeah.
All right, so as we said, we'll go now for a short break and let us know in the chat what games you want to see when we get back. But we'll be back soon, so also don't go too far, and see you in a moment.
Yeah, see you.
back on round number 1 of 9th Riga Technical University Open, and already board 1 finished. Igor Kovalenko, top seed of course, won his game against Victoria Cherniak in pretty nice fashion with nice sacrifice at the end. Yeah, it's pretty cool game, but also during the break we were checking out some other boards, and yeah, you wanted to say something?
No, go on, it's all good.
I thought you were just here to look nice. And yeah, on board number 9 we have also an interesting position, also with a sacrifice. So we can take a look what's going on there.
Okay, so this is a game between Dastan and Vitsas.
So Dastan is a grandmaster from Turkey, and Vitsas is a Lithuanian player.
Okay, so white has sacrificed the piece. So
Maybe we
knight
can
6.
see back a few moves.
Okay, it was a pretty classical stuff, I guess. B5, and just developing. Both sides are developing their game. C5, trying to force white's hand in the center.
So now it kind of looks like Spanish, not Italian.
Yeah, certainly. Rook B8, Queen D2, and I guess white is setting up for attack, so closing the center and going for that
And yeah, this sacrifice, Bishop H6, and now most of black pieces are on the queen side, and white is, yeah, ready for a mate, basically.
So yeah, black was trying to kind of play for some piece activity, but white just follows up with the attacking plan, and the idea is very simple. So if we take the rook, knight h5 comes, and so knight f6 is a threat, and if we take, there's of course just a mate.
I had a very similar game actually. Also this knight g5, but I was black. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And also knight h4. Yeah, the idea is not to not only to give mate on g7 or g2 as in my game, but yeah, to fight with the knight on f6. That is defending. Okay, so
this is over, I guess. This seems like an unstoppable.
That's on the board after knight g5, yeah?
Yeah, knight g5. So we can try to stop it with knight f4, but still we can take just... If we wish, we can take the piece, I guess, like this, but... Probably there's something
Yeah, we
even
can just
more
take
effective.
the piece and... but then rook c2.
Or queen d... No, queen d8, no, yeah, rook c2. Okay, but then we go back and we just threaten the mate again.
Yeah, the same thing is going to happen. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting actually. Very just nice lesson to, well, just make sure that your pieces are consolidated and that you are thinking what your opponent is planning, not only about your plan, but you, well, if queen is on d2, bishop on e3, I always have to be prepared for such sacrifice.
And we can see also some few boards there. I guess it feels like there is going to be maybe not the most, like little upsets, like a draws. Like game between Galkin and Wagner seems like a very solid. Okay. Oh no, sorry. There's a pawn black.
Pawns,
I didn't even notice that there's no f pawn for white. Okay, so Wagner is of course pushing, and like such rook endgames, they can be theoretical draws or something, but of course
it doesn't matter what the theoretical evaluation is.
But certainly the game between Kanakova and Michalik, here white is pawn up, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's black to move, so he can take back the pawn, but if he takes back the pawn, white should be able to draw this rather comfortably.
Because, well, I think...
You can just take, play rook d1.
Black will go like king e4.
Yeah, maybe he can do play rook c2, and in case of this, his plan could be king e4. It's true.
King f3, and it's getting tricky.
H4. The only idea, of course, how to continue is like this.
But this is still a draw.
This is
right?
still a total draw. You're not gonna mate with the two pieces, and now you're still taking here, and then you lose the c pawn, and it's just a draw. So, yeah, as I mentioned, usually in the first round or in this tournament there are a lot of draws, but also some upset bigger than just a draw, and I'm sure we're gonna see today somewhere?
Oh, probably, definitely. Some good players will be in trouble, and very possibly that they actually will lose some points as well. By the way, hi, chess doctors. Again, we are seeing you. Nice that you're here with us. And as I was saying, guys, be active on the chat and let us know what games you want to see. If you don't let us know, then we'll choose them ourselves. And, you know, it might be not that interesting if you tell us. It will be more interesting for you. So maybe let's see board number 2.
Okay, board number 2, yeah, Robert Hovhannisyan had seemingly very good position out of the opening, and I guess it still continues to be good. Rook is on a3.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good score for Rook. Doesn't have any moves. Will be always under attack.
If it could get to g3, I guess.
That's some big jump. Yeah, although even then it would not be clear if it's so good there.
Knight h5 and it's not happy. Yeah, I guess.
And also a lot of extra time for black, so yeah, just seems like last year's winner is also gonna start tournament with the point. Nija Tabasso was in a driver's seat in his game, and we see his opponent is playing on last seconds.
Seriously? No, probably he has more time.
He probably did a move, yeah, but
it's not updated yet. But
no, well, probably he has like 1 minute, maybe 45 seconds, who knows, but the idea is that, yeah,
Although
oh no, he did
now,
a 1 second move.
Is it really? Can we see time on board? This is board to number 3, yeah?
Yes, board number 3. Yeah, well, he did move on 1 second. Like, he just doesn't know what to do. The position is so dominating for white, and
wow, that's crazy.
oh no, it's finished? This is board number 3, yeah, so it's actually finished. Maybe he lost on time?
Can we see it again? This board number 3?
Or was it board number 1? Maybe it was board number 1, where Kovalenko Igor had won.
Yeah, we'll see it in a moment, I guess. But still he is better, right?
Oh, yeah, certainly. This is kind of, I guess you're just waiting with black game to finish. It's not much that you can do. Those pawns are always there. You can't leave any of this any space because they are just moving 1 square further, and that is automatically it. The king is even in trouble in the lines with. Oh, Rook h3, King g8. Still, you are just kind of standing there, but.
Well, something is there.
It's not gonna end good.
I know. So okay, this is the board. So this was before the empty board was board number 1.
Okay, so he did play King g2.
But we have pawn on g5 already, right?
Yeah,
For black.
g5 and Rook f5 was played.
Okay, but now it's just.
Well, and black is playing on seconds. Let's remind it again. Just black is playing on seconds. 41 seconds. So now again he did move with 11 seconds before, and yeah, now there's a big threat on e5. What to do if you take here? Then you can take with the queen and the pin everything, or you can even go as far as to go take with c pawn, and to enjoy it. Oh, he even resigns.
Yeah, okay, after g5, the additional weakness is too much. So, another point for the leaders. And let's see.
Board number 4,
This was this very unclear position that we liked it for white. So for the lower rated player.
Okay, so here, ed9 d4, rook fe1 happened. More or less how we expected. Oh no, we actually didn't expect, I guess, black to take here. We expected after.
No, white. I suggested rook e1.
You suggested rook e1,
didn't analyze it very much. Okay, but he took.
He took, but
let's see what happened.
Gave took away, I guess, knight f3 possibility from white.
Yeah, because we were thinking like rook e1 and still to keep the tension, and knight f3 could come and.
Yeah, and already with a comfort to take on d4, but.
Then
okay,
bishop
so
e7, queen e3. Okay,
because there was a threat of knight f3 as well.
Okay, but maybe you just win a pawn.
And castle. And now he's thinking.
But is he just taking on e5 and being a pawn up?
Let's see, if we take here.
You can't go bishop d6 or anything.
Because there is also this knight was hanging.
Everything is falling.
So I guess we would.
But you take and bishop b4. Is there?
Okay, so this might be the point.
Can
take on b7.
Okay, what is happening? Quickly.
There
But
are
bishop d6 and bishop d4. I wanted to use the fact that the two white bishops are on b5.
Okay, this is not a good idea. I thought I could take with the rook, but of course I can't because knight is hanging.
No, I guess it's too much.
Still, yeah, to still just pawn up for white.
Even c5, c6, if we do that, it's...
Yeah, that's probably just game over if we can do that. And black would need to... Oh, maybe knight d7 is here.
Knight d7, bishop d4.
Oh. So many
and
problems.
We have two
two pieces, two bishops. Yeah,
and a pawn.
That's not so good.
Okay, so what else to do? Was it played? No, white is still
No, white
thinking.
is still
He still
thinking.
didn't take on... Does he have some other, like f4?
He can take on
no,
h6.
F4, no.
He has a choice,
okay.
actually.
He did something. He went c5.
He didn't take either of the pawns.
Actually, maybe he doesn't need to worry about it. c5, and it's a double attack, basically. But g5, no? Well, the idea is before pawn is not hanging and you're still attacking, right?
Yeah, so I guess maybe
G5 then...
it's just not possible to protect both. G5, knight f3, and e5 pawn is going to be hanging anyways.
Even, yeah, knight f3, bishop f3.
Or queen f3.
Actually, I was thinking after g5 to go queen e5. Can we do that?
Oh, wow.
I don't think it deserves a wow.
It does. Okay, so this... Okay, that's also a good move, yeah, just...
Because still, this bishop can't move.
And if b7 pawn is still falling, bishop is... Yeah. That's good.
But... no. The other bishop
this
c5.
can't be the move. g5 can't be the move. Maybe knight d5 is the critical.
But can we just take on... If we take on h6, you want to take on b4, yeah?
Yes, I want to take on b4.
Can we take on g6? Go crazy
okay.
and rook e4.
This is gonna be...
Because in... Okay, rook e4, rook h4 isn't there because bishop is defending h4. But still, we have rook g4. So what will you play? We have queen h6 and rook g4 coming.
Okay, this is very complicated. Hard to say. There should be some defensive motives too. Maybe bishop f6 just.
And?
And I have bishop g7.
Ah. Alright.
Well,
if we...
can go here, here, here. But does that give anything?
I wanted to somehow get my bishop to d5, but I guess we can't do it for now.
Okay, here we can also play bishop e4, the same idea, king g8. But it's not enough really. Queen h5.
Why? Queen h7, bishop g7. Sorry, queen
oh,
h7,
okay, that's
g7.
easy. Okay, yes, that's right. I did not see this.
Okay, that's...
So,
no, but that's... Okay, even if you take on g6 or you don't, you still had possibility of taking on e5 instead of on h6. White has so many ideas. I guess his only problem is that he has so many ideas.
he has to choose between them.
He has to choose. He will waste a lot of time and then he will not have it to, to realize the advantage.
Because here, exchange queens.
Taking on
take
h4 and taking on b4. I will take first on d5.
I thought I will take on d5. Okay, but can I do that even? Because there's rook takes d5. And then there is a fork. And a lot is getting...
Did we take on h?
I can even take this and follow up with rook d7, probably with the winning endgame.
Still winning. One way or another, white is... I mean...
And even if rook d8 here, kind of trying to save it, there's a second pawn falling on h6. Everything is just under attack.
Wow, is Arian Tari in trouble? I mean, still, the difference in rating between those two players is 400 points. So it's pretty huge.
And it's also very hard to make moves, and you have 20 minutes on the clock, and you just both sides. For both sides, it's hard to make moves. For one side, because you want to be precise, you don't want to let the advantage slip. For the other side, because it's just hard position.
That's why we are commentating, because for us it's easy to make moves.
Okay, he went knight h5.
Knight h5.
Okay. I don't believe
We are really bad.
this can be a good
in this
move.
game, we can't predict almost any move.
If you have to play knight h5, it means that things are very bad already.
And now still, we can take on h6 as well.
Then I guess the idea is to take on h4 already. So this is
And knight f4.
something that you could try to survive. Yeah, knight f4 is a move.
Okay, that's knight d3, knight d2 are threats. And if we go...
If you take on
so
e5,
in general, that's his idea, to take on h4 and jump knight f4, yeah?
but what if he does take on here?
Okay, we take on h4 again, and knight f4.
Yeah, but b7 is falling now.
But knight d3 is hanging, is a threat.
Okay. First of all, I can include this.
Okay, I take, and I take on b4, knight d3. I'll take rook, and then I'll give up.
Okay, knight d3 is still holding it together. Okay.
So that's
And
the
what
idea of knight h5. Knight on f4 is going to be tricky.
And what about this position? Are you playing knight d3 or knight e2? So your choice is between these two.
Okay, knight d3, because I'm attacking 3 pieces, not 2. Simply. Knight d2 is also attacking 3 pieces. So.
But here I get to take on d4. You can take on c1 probably. And now knight d3 will be still a threat.
Okay, guys, we need some help here from you. What is going on in those lines? We don't know as well. Or we are maybe the only ones who don't know.
It has to be just very good for white, but you have to be.
Yeah, but this is this position that you can also.
Okay, and what about just knight f3? Then very normal human move.
Okay, knight f3.
And queen f3. e5 is hanging, b7 is hanging, and knight on h5 is bad.
Yeah. Maybe that's.
Just the simple approach, like kind of black is making his piece worse, we are improving our piece.
Yeah, and then if we take on b7, even though taking on h6 maybe seems more dangerous, at least immediately, because it's by the king, but if we take on b7 and then c-pawn starts to roll, then it's without the light square bishop for black, and with knight so far, yeah, hard to stop.
Actually, that would be very impressive by the white player here to play, by Maxim to play knight f3, because in such position everything is hanging, and to play such as for the positional strength of position, it's not easy. It's just not easy to come up with this kind of idea, because you're counting all the tactics, you're counting how you're winning instantly, and then
it's
you
so
just.
Cute that you came up with this move, and now you're saying that it's.
Well, it's
yeah,
just,
of course.
It just looks like it's a strong move.
You usually count something more.
Everything is hanging on just instantly, so yeah, it just looks.
Okay,
Of course, maybe I'm missing something very obvious, but if not, then this should be just positionally crushing.
Okay, let's see other game. I think we have not taken a look today at all at board number 5, Christian Bauer against Leon Piasecki, white player from France, Leon from Canada.
Okay, so we have a lot of pieces on the board, rather close structure, but.
What I see straight away is bishop on b7.
Yeah, that's not having too good time. But if you can go back to c8 and start controlling those light squares, it's not going to be that bad of a piece.
Only problem is that also knight from d7 has very limited choice. Actually.
It's the thing, I guess, here about all the black pieces. They all just have very limited options.
Yeah.
So white should be doing good, and black is hanging on by the last thread.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is just for now. White is simply dominating, and well, he will slowly prepare f5. Yeah, he will. Okay, for now he can't go f5 because rook is hanging on e3, but he'll go, let's say, rook e2 and then f5.
I think he'll go rook f3.
But rook f3, then after f5, e5 pawn is hanging. So I thought just to defend on e5 as well.
Or, yeah, it's a good question. What is black gonna do here? Because like, how is he gonna progress? Because also white can play even for simple tricks, which might work, and that might meaning king h1 and knight f5.
I also noticed it, and yeah, queen is hanging and bishop will be hanging.
It doesn't mean anything because king can go to.
No, but after king g7 we have e6.
Just to show the line which we are counting. For example, I don't know, bishop c8, king h1. What move can black make here?
e7.
e7. Then yeah, that's the worst move I guess possible.
So let's
But
say something else.
So it's not so easy to blunder this tactic.
Because you don't really have moves. But the idea. Okay, let's say rook e6. Yeah.
Okay, let's say rook e6 or something that we want to play. Go knight f5.
But rook e6 is good actually, because there is no e6.
And now if queen takes, then just taking here with a check. Oh, but we can include this kind of options.
Yeah.
And then take, and then the f5 pawn would be falling.
Yeah, this jump attacking the queen and the bishop on h6. But that's why king h1 is needed, because otherwise after knight f5, black will take the queen on f2 with a check. So king needed to go to h1, that this move wouldn't be a check, and we could interject knight takes h6 ourselves.
Bishop c8 actually got played, so maybe we are gonna get the right line correctly.
Okay, well, king h1 or h2, actually, why not? But now white is thinking we can move forward to the next game.
Where we had this a little bit unusual Caro-Kann game between Mojita and Swane, and we actually left it very early on after c5 and castle. So knight c6 got played, knight b5 actually also got played, and yeah, Rasmus didn't play a6 or anything, didn't force white to do things, but he played just bishop g4, and okay, then a6 a little bit later.
And let's see how he played it. And now he just went for two knights against two bishops. It's always interesting to see if what you are counting is also what such a strong player has been considering.
And well, he basically won a pawn by by force, so white had to go for some activity. So
make
he
this
chose
bishop
to
pair work.
Gave up another pawn, and queen c4 kind of attacking them all. c5. Now just having
queen d8 with the idea to prepare castle. It was not possible because knight was hanging.
And now I guess he's just pawn up.
He is a pawn up, and should be good enough, yeah? After castle, white is preparing f5, though.
Okay.
Can you just do that?
And then some queen d5, nice square for queen there, and maybe trying
rook
to get
e8.
some...
But rook e8, rook e1. Rook e1, maybe queen g5.
Or
maybe queen g5.
queen g5, okay, so you can also
Attacking
do
the
that.
rook and the pawn as
Yeah.
well. But Rasmus Swane is also spending some time. Okay, he keeps the advantage, time advantage, so it's not something extreme, but he wasn't playing that fast.
Critical line might be g6 here. Because if there are no tactics, then after g6 this bishop is absolutely horrible, and d6 pawn is also gonna fall. So... should... yeah, white I guess should play f5. And
but after g...
Yeah, the question is if there is anything at all. For example, rook takes f5,
Wow, you want to sacrifice everything today.
king f8, and rook e7, something like this.
We can take the rook.
Oh, we can, but there is an open king. Bishop is maybe powerful.
Maybe powerful.
It's maybe, well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah, well, there are some. Actually, it's not clear where to put the bishop, and also, where to put the king and where to put those rooks. Maybe after bishop d6, we'll go king f6 or something like this.
Yeah, but the thing about this position is that, okay, knight is a good defender against queen, so against checks, but queen together with bishop and without a clear point like on the board. If we could just put the king somewhere, there isn't such this perfect square we would want it, and it would be feeling absolutely safe. So it can be tricky to go for it. Always those perpetual checks, those ideas, especially when you go low on time, it's so annoying.
How did it happen? Didn't you get it too easy? So you sacrificed one rook, and then just rook e1, rook e7.
And I guess there's no defense for
But he
f7.
went for castle.
Probably that was White's plan with f4.
Okay, so castle now f5 is kind of critical line.
Otherwise g6 will come, yeah. Already without all those dangerous ideas. And here we don't want to take, because that already gives this... Well, this pawn is very well protected, and White could be even the one maybe with a little bit of advantage, thanks to attack on f7,
Yeah, because
control on the
c5 is
side.
weak, f7 is weak.
It's an interesting position, I must say. Unexpectedly a little bit, I thought that this is pawn up, and it should be just easy, but...
It's never easy against Indian players. For those of you who didn't see, 2 days ago there was a Blitz tournament, and it was crazy because Indian players took top 7 places. I mean, yeah, and then still one more Indian player was 10th, so all in all, they were in top 10. They completely crushed it. And probably you know that, yeah, Indian players are just so strong, so developing. So even if they're lower rated, you have to be really careful till the end.
Yeah, well, Rasmus is trying to be careful, that's for sure. He's taking his time, he's not rushing, but opposition is getting complicated, really complicated, once again.
Okay, let's move to the next one when we have Iris Mirin against Arne Bracker. Also, one of you have before requested this game, so let's see what's going on in this one.
Very interesting piece placement for White. As we see, 2 rooks on the A file and everything just defending this A4 pawn. When did we see it? Okay, it was some sort of
this was this Italian where this knight went quickly to g6.
And now Iris Mirin chose an interesting plan with rook a3, to which black reacted c5, c4, kind of limiting possibilities for this rook. And then a lot of piece regrouping happens, so knight went to b6 to attack a4 pawn. White regrouped also their knights to attack c4 pawn. Okay, knight from b6 is both attacking, both defending. And h4, g6, and rook a1. What's the idea behind this one? Maybe to prophylactically, after knight d3, be not having to worry that a4 pawn is hanging and we could be able to take on d3 comfortably.
Maybe.
So rook a1 looks very unusual.
Yeah, maybe you're just preparing g3 and not to worry exactly about this knight d3. And now it's White to move?
Now it's White to move, yeah.
Perhaps he'll move the rook back or something.
Yeah, it's hard to say the plan for either of the sides for me. Very complicated position.
They both have to regroup. I mean, black could definitely...
That's what they're doing all the game.
Yeah, that's true. But black definitely, well, sometime will think about f5. That's kind of, in this structure, typical move. First of all, you're getting game for your pieces. Second of all, then d5 pawn for white will be weakened because the e4 pawn will get exchanged, so it will not be supported by the pawn. Okay, for now it's just difficult to do it because your knight on h5.
Yeah, so the idea is that if you go somewhere f5, then after taking, when you take with the pawn, the knight is hanging.
Yeah, so what I meant that regroup, maybe some king h7, knight g7, prepare it like that.
But the idea, what's interesting that in the moment ago the king was on h7, and he went king g7.
Yeah.
He must have some idea why he needs his king on g7 instead. Maybe he wanted to play g5. No, but he could play g5 anyways if he wanted to.
Maybe king g7 was with the idea that sometime knight d3, not to have queen f6 for white.
Maybe to take away f6 square, that could be true.
Maybe they both don't know what to do. Or at least the black player.
Okay, so now it's white to move, and what to do? Do we want to prepare f4 break? Do we want to tie this knight on h5, or do we want somewhere to play knight f5? Also, knight f5 could be an option sometimes in these positions, right? Even now, let's say
Bishop takes.
Bishop takes, and just to take.
Queen takes on d5.
Yeah, and then to go knight e4. Okay, but knight is unpleasant move, I guess. Knight f6.
You really want to sacrifice everything today, okay? Is it really unpleasant?
Ah, no, there's rook
Yeah.
d1, queen c6. So the rook is on a3, that's a problem, and you're sacrificing, I guess, a little bit.
I think rook d1 is unnecessary because actually d5 will be the move to play for. Maybe just queen e2.
But then we are giving up more.
Taking on f6, queen h5.
Oh, that's.
And then
a
you
big
get
threat.
e4. e4, queen h6, you just go king e7. Can you be so mean? And saying that
But there should be some compensation now for.
queen e6 or something. Knight d5 or d7. Oh, going to e5.
And then maybe some break on the other side.
Okay, that's great. Let's see. The
King is on his.
Smirin played something. Let's see what he did.
He did played queen e2, just a normal move. He's not feeling the. Okay, it's attacking the c4 pawn, so rook c8 I guess should happen quite fast. Yeah, that's already on the board.
But okay.
Oh, now it's white to move again.
Can white plan queen f1, bishop d1, bishop e2?
Might, but that might run into f5, queen f1 already.
Okay, then I go bishop d1 first.
He did go for king g2.
Okay. I had such a brilliant manner prepared. King g2 and.
Can I go f5 now? Or that's asking for trouble? Especially with the king on g2, it kind of felt like maybe it should be possible because.
But is f5 on the board? No, it's.
No, if you take, I wanted to take here knight takes d5.
But I take on d5. Bishop e4. Take on g6.
Well, something like this.
I take on h5.
Oh, the knight is hanging on h5.
I'll just take it all.
That's not nice. Okay, and if I go with a
Taking it all.
queen. Okay, but then you're gonna just take on
Yes.
g6, yeah. And this position should be good. What do you do after knight f6? I'm still liking the perspectives here once the pawns start rolling. Rooks are so misplaced and the position getting opened.
Yeah, so that's Tom's idea, that he wants to open up the center and move black pawns even with the cost of pawns on the king side, but just to move it as soon as possible since, yeah, those white rooks are kind of playing a different game now.
Oh, this g6 pawn is making my king very safe. And okay, if rook from a1 you still can get to the game very easy. but the rook from a3, that's gonna be a lot harder task already. And yeah, it's not so obvious where to put all the pieces. Even you can take on this pawn, but I don't mind too much.
Well, that looks dangerous actually.
Yeah.
But no, rooks are back in the game, rook a2, and at least they are.
Okay, so maybe I don't take. I play d5.
Okay, but this is probably not going to happen. I would say it's unlikely.
Okay, but black needs to do something. He can't just keep playing rook king h7, king g7, right? He needs some sort of concrete plans, ideas.
Yeah, well, okay, let's see. Maybe next game, let's go to board number 8. We have Tymarkiewicz Rafał against Gopal, Polish player with white pieces.
So white is very low on time.
But
Only
the
4
position
minutes.
is pretty solid, or is it not?
Yeah, the position is very solid, but I guess black is having an advantage thanks to the bishop pair, which is at the moment, of course, not so obvious, but the bishop on g3 is not doing too good. It's kind of out of the game, and black is just ready to come with h5, bishop will come through h6, and step by step there are going to be less and less squares where to put comfortably pieces, and especially with the time running out, it will be a very hard game to play.
Yeah, that could be. Actually, that's true. That's just black has practically such an, well, very easy.
Yeah, probably even he could start with a5 just to avoid any counter game whatsoever, like to have this structure more solid and then to continue, because this plan with h5 and then kind of switching game to the other side of the board is unstoppable.
Alright, so maybe we can come back to it as well and just try to cover those games. Next board we already saw, and this game actually already finished.
Okay, so Dustin won his game.
Also pretty nice sacrifice.
And then the next board is Galkin against Wagner, where Wagner is trying to, well,
prove that you can win rook endgame.
well, he's
It's possible.
probably going to win. This is the kind of position where his class should show. Like maybe if it was the reversed colors, I would say that it's a draw, would be draw, but with the rating difference on the side of the pawn, then yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way to evaluate rook endgames. Who is better that's gonna win, or not manage to win.
Yeah, there's a wild little position between Lalit, Babu, and Ungurs. Edgars from Latvia. Okay, we see that Ungurs is down on time. That's the way he
Typical.
plays. Yeah, he's usually in time trouble. And but the position material is even. That's what can be said. And in that
And
case,
now question, are those white pawns in the center strong or are they weak, right? Because
yeah, if they are not moving, then they should be weak. Yeah.
yeah, but some rook e5 or something, but also what to do with black? I guess black should think about some b5. b5, b4, and then getting, well, d5 will be attacked.
Yeah, that could be a very dangerous plan to push those pawns in the queen side. So white can be not doing anything. But what came to my mind is, can I go e4 now? Point being that you can't, I think, take on e4 because I just play rook e3 and the pin is too strong. But on the other side, I'm not threatening anything as well.
Right. And if we go b5 now, who will be faster?
Oh, but there is such an interesting move. Queen h4. The point is the same, that